Defining Duke, an Xbox podcast, is brought to you by, well, you. If you want to learn how to support the show, go to patreon.com/laststandmedia. Salutations, everybody. It is Maddie here today. Welcome to episode 282 of Defining Duke, an Xbox podcast. It's the most wonderful time of the year. Summer showcase season, baby. Here we go. And of course, I've got an eclectic crew to help me out with the summer showcase predictions in the world of Xbox. Returning is Lord Cognito. Cog, awesome to have you back after a couple of weeks, man. I know it's a loaded question, but of course we need to know, how are you doing?
I am hanging in. It's been rough. I'm going to hold you, but it's good to be back. It's good to be back. Again, shout out to the Rum of the Duke. Shout out to everybody. You know, obviously that I've been gone, and thank you for reading the statement. I listened to it. Shout out to Locke as well for holding me down during the period.
He did great.
Yeah, Mama Cog she gave us a really big scare. And it's one of those things when you trust your instinct when someone calls you and they don't sound right. And I was just like, yeah, let me race over there. And then good thing I did, because we were able to avoid a major situation. So yeah, she's on the mend. I told her she has a lot of fans. I put the pick up, let everyone know, because obviously, the updates and stuff behind the scenes. But, once we introduce, Rand and stuff, but I'll tell you, there's a lot to this. There's a lot to this. And I learned a lot about my mom. Like, I knew my mom was strong, but I didn't know my mom was gangster. I found out my mom is gangster. And the long and short of it is this. It was a situation that we couldn't figure out, and it's two competing medical issues, and we're just trying to, figure this thing out. And I would go to the hospital every day, and I'd work with the medical teams to see what's going on with both of her issues and how they're, kind of going against each other. So we're able to fine tune it and get to the solution that we needed. But there is a moment where it was very touch and go. And in the very first 4 days, and my mom's, for those who aren't aware, she's JW. And JW have very strict religious policies in terms of blood and blood transfusions. And when it got to that point where they were like, look, she's going to need this kind of thing. So I had to have a discussion with my mom. And this is when I knew my mom's was like, it's in my God's hands. And whatever happens is what it happens. And I'm like, but the death, though, we don't want the death. like I'm like, what do we? And she's like, no, this is what it is. So I worked with the medical team. We came up with alternatives and stuff like that we kind of agreed on with both parties in respect of what she's got going on. And it actually started to work. It was just a longer process. And I just gained so much respect for her, because even during that period, I had a little fight, because I was just like, look, I'm going to respect your faith. But if you ever get to a point where you don't have control of your faculties, I'm going to make a decision, and me and you going to have to figure out the God question afterwards. You know what I'm saying? So that was our little, all right, our middle ground, kind of thing. But she got through it. And yeah, she's a tough woman. So she's on the mend. It's crazy, because if you saw her before and then now, you wouldn't think too much has happened. So that's how good the recovery is. But yeah, man, she sends her love, and I appreciate everyone that messaged me, DM me, checking on me, because it's been tough. So right now, I'm just filing back home, because I used to do hospital visits every day and then stay over there, take care of her affairs. And now I'm back home to my place, and I got to take care of my affairs, and I get my health together, because the anxiety and the stress of like 2.5 weeks of, worrying about your mom and caring for your moms is really tough. And I want to shout out Rand, because obviously I know you're going to introduce him, but, I understand, he understands that he's just been going through a major situation, and obviously my condolences. So I know what that feels like on a small scale, because he's been through it, even worse than me. So just want to say my love to the Realm of the Dukes, man.
It's good to have you back, man. Rand, awesome to have you here as well, man. How are you doing?
I'm doing all right. I'm doing pretty good for the most part. It's good to have Cog back. So I talked to Cog about all this, like, I think a week ago. Me and Cog got to chop it up, and I didn't know what was going on. So I'm very, very happy that everything is on the up and up. And me and Maddie talked earlier before the show. It's nice to catch up with him. So a lot to talk about regards to the show. Predictions, price raises. DLC for a game that's 16 years. How many years is it now?
The Witcher.
12?
12. Boy. Yeah, 12. 12.
12. Yeah. Crazy.
We're at that point now where I distinctly remember these moments so well, like where I was, what was happening. Like I was adulting, but now I look at the time like over a decade ago, huh? Yeah, that's rough.
So were you like 12, 14?
Yeah. 12. How old was I? Was I 18, 19?
Damn.
Something like that. Yeah. Something like that. I'm trying to think. That's the problem now, dude. That's the thing I'm fighting with these days is I'm like, how old was I then? And I'm like, it used to be quick math. Now it's a little more complex once you get the big three. So I don't know. 12 years ago, though. Yeah, that's 18. Yeah. So
it's like
I was experiencing the highs of Fallout 4 and the highs of The Witcher 3 12 years ago.
It's kind of like for me when it's like I always kind of think like, oh, the 90s, they're like 10 years ago, right, Cog? And it's like, actually, no.
I know, bro.
25.
Yo, we old, bro.
Yeah.
We old.
Now we're in that era of like people are really romanticizing that era big time now. I mean, rightfully so. You know, growing up in it, I'm like, fuck yeah, it is the shit. You're right. It is the shit. But like with the push for like AI and everything, just feeling inauthentic, everyone's looking at this era of technology where it's like, we had it so good, you know, like we had enough power to do the things we wanted to, but it was still, you had to do the manual labor. You still had to, you know, you had control of things, but now it's just like, I don't know if it was real or not. So apologies to the audience if I'm incorrect on this, but I saw on Twitter, and there you go, right? It's like, well, this is real or not. But I saw a pair of headphones. It was like a new Apple headphone that had like cameras in it. And I'm like, there's no way that's real, right? Like I have to be getting trolled. Like I have to be.
I saw the same. It was like an AirPod, right, with cameras on the outside. I was like, this can't be real.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, so when I went on vacation, because I wanted to like share things I was doing on vacation last month, I downloaded Twitter, like the app, for the first time in years. Like years, and like I've had it deleted off my phone for a long time. Bro, the decline of my mental health over the last month, bad, really fucking bad, bro. I deleted that shit today. I was like, I can't. I was like, I cannot. Like, I get why people are so nasty on that thing, bro. 1 month is all it took. And I was like, this is the lowest I've been in a while. I was like, I feel awful. So, yeah, bro, I'm out. I'm back. I'm back to being Twitter user on the browser. That's all I'll be doing. As I'm old man in it, bro. I don't have a phone. What are you talking about? What's that app?
Yeah, you can't have nuanced conversation. I choose not to engage for the most part because it's a mess, bro. It is an absolute toxic mess on both sides of the equation. It doesn't even matter if you like or you disagree. I'm like, I ain't got the energy. Plus, like there's not enough characters to hold me.
Yeah, but there's also the one place where like everything is received as a challenge. And I just don't get it. Like, that's the thing I can't wrap my head around is like, yeah, man, you know, I really like Mega Man. Like, what the fuck are you saying about Bubsy then, dude? And I'm like, I'm not talking about that at all, dude. Like, I'm just looking at this thing I like. They're like, I bet you like Mega Man X7. I'm like, first off, no. But yeah, I was gonna say, like, that's where it goes. It's like the immediate disingenuous assumption of like, this is like, how do we get here?
Yeah, contentious.
You like Mega Man? What, are you woke?
Yeah.
Oh, bro.
Man, yeah. There it goes, right?
Yep.
Impossible to avoid. Yeah. So with that, speaking of Twitter engagement and whatnot, let's look at the best audience in the world. Last Stand Media. We love you all so much. We appreciate you being here. I want to issue a public apology. I fucked up. I did not plan well for this prediction show. Normally, I've got Rand in touch early. I know what week we're doing it. I just crossed my weeks up and was like, we're doing this next week. But then the whole, releasing the episodes publicly on Sunday, that really wouldn't work if you put your prediction show out the same day that the showcase is happening. And I was like, okay. So we had to accelerate everything. So I apologize because when I put up the thread, normally I specify like, hey, it's our prediction show. Leave your predictions. So I apologize that we don't have any of your write-ins for this show. I do have on the news document them written down in general for when Cog and I circle back around, and I will pick those write-ins back up as an apology, of course. But please accept my apologies. I am terribly sorry. I feel really bad about it. So I hope you all still enjoy the show. I know I love to include your predictions in here and get all the different angles in, all the questions in. So thank you for bearing with us this year. And we'll do our usual thing where this is the prediction show. You won't get Duke next week because we're going to record an episode right on Sunday. And then we'll be back the following Wednesday to kind of like make it up. So you'll have your double Duke of the week, which, that sounds a little different now, but like, you enjoy your double Dukes, everyone. So thank you in advance for what I hope will be understanding. It is my mistake at the end of the day, and I do apologize for that. But for those who are signed up there any other week, you can go to patreon.com/laststandmedia, early ad-free access to the show. You still get that. But also, when I'm not absolutely clueless and doing my job well, your write-ins are included on the show alongside Punching Up, Sacred Symbols. What else do we do here? Summon Sign. A lot of shows going on you can get involved in. So thank you for your support there. Gentlemen, anything else we want to go over as we set the table here, or should we just dive right in?
Let's do it, man. Let's do it.
Okay, let's do it. So the interesting thing about this year's show is this is the first Asha Sharma led Xbox showcase. Now, I imagine a lot of the decisions that have been made for this summer showcase, I think Phil had his hands on it, right? Like next year would be the more independent, I would imagine, like fully Asha show. But this is Asha Sharma led. We see how quickly she moves. And I wanted to open, instead of prior years, we're really diving into things like the companies that Xbox owns and what will show up or what won't show up. I actually wanted to look more business wise first, kind of get that question settled and then dive into each studio afterwards. So of course I want to open the conversation on exclusivity a little bit here. If Xbox would dare make things exclusive at the show, if Xbox is just going to remove PlayStation branding at this show, what kind of demonstrative action, if any at all, will Asha and her team take during this showcase? Because it feels like a lot has led to this moment here, where they've been making decisions around the edges, is how I define it, like good choices, but they have yet to make like some of the tough choices. So I wanted to kind of open up that conversation here because a lot of people are saying that they're very happy with where Xbox is right now. They want them to continue in this direction, but if you see a PlayStation logo, they're out again. So I want to know, Rand, let's start with you, where you're at, because Cog and I have gone back and forth on a near weekly basis where it's just like, exclusive or not exclusives, but where you stand on that, do we see any trigger pull at this showcase? And if not, is there at least a removal of other platforms from their own show?
That's an interesting question. Like you mentioned, this Asha's been in the job for a few months now, right? Mm-hmm. So like I'd imagine most any of the software that's there, we're all like kind of percolated under Phil, but specifically about this, she's made a lot of good choices, a lot of PR wins, like easy PR wins and stuff. And it's like, but I think a lot for the community, it's going to come down to the exclusive debate, how much, how little, none at all. And even myself, I've kind of gone through a journey from she taking over the job to like now, because when she took over, I was like, Cog, because he was on the show with me right when that happened. Remember
when it happened? Yeah, that's right. When it happened,
I was live streaming the second, like I went live, and then the whole letter went out 5 minutes beforehand that Phil was retiring. I'm like,
yes.
All my chat was loading with Phil Spencer's retiring. I'm like, what are you guys talking about? I was like, no, he's not.
Yes, that was a day.
Yeah, it was interesting, and it was like one of those things where it's like, well, I don't know, because Amy Hood and Satya, they're still there. They still want the 30%. What really could change if you still have the same parameters around the company? And then like reporting came out from Jez and Tom Warren and others that actually, no, 30% thing isn't really, it's been loosened. And like, I know the initial reporting, because some of the interviews were like Seamus Blackley, oh, she's actually there to sunset the brand and all these sort of things where people started to get worried. Like, oh, is she really just here to dismantle the brand or whatever? But it doesn't really seem that way, at least from the move she's made.
Yeah.
And then the exclusivity stuff happened where she directly responded to somebody asking about it, saying, heard you, which in the time doesn't really mean much, but it's also significant in the sense that she picked from anything she could have picked out and replied to, it was that one.
Sure.
Right. And then they talked about it in a blog post where they said they are going to like reevaluate exclusivity and windowing and all these sort of things. So it's like they started the conversation. That's what I always say, Maddie, is that they started the conversation. It wasn't like, sure, the community's been like, hey, you know what? The whole Project Latitude thing, it's kind of dumb. It's not going to work.
Sure.
Exclusives, should be there. So they started all this. So that's why I do think there will be some exclusives in the future. I just don't know how they're going to convey that to people. I don't know if it's like Asha's going to make some grand statement during the show.
Yeah.
But I mean, we've already seen Sarah Bond when it was with Starfield, remember? And Starfield is exclusive with the big letters, Xbox exclusive on the poster and stuff, and how that kind of went over. Or if it's going to be more of, maybe like a blog post later, or just like, oh, everything's kind of case by case. I do think it would be a good first step would be to remove the logos. Now, I guess they could compromise. I guess they could compromise in this thing here, Maddie. Where if it's a third party game, maybe you could still have PS5, whatever. But if it's like your own stuff, maybe you leave it off.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's some compromise to be worked out, but I think I honestly think they should be removed because nobody else reciprocates. You go to watch a Nintendo Direct or State of Play, which is happening next week. You're not going to see an Xbox logo for any of their games at that show.
Yeah.
So why is Xbox the only one putting PlayStation and PC stuff logos on theirs? It doesn't really make any sense. So I'm very curious because she could make a bold swing and say, hey, Gears E-Day is exclusive and moving forward, these are our plans, or not really say too much. But I do think they'll have some exclusivity regarding like titles and stuff. I'm just not sure of the breadth.
Yeah, like you're not sure if they're going to move in a more demonstrative way or it's going to be more subdued. Like, again, logo removal is more subdued, but demonstrative is like Asha at the end being like everything you saw Xbox exclusive, or maybe opening the show that way, right? Like, that's where I get a little bit twisted up too with this. I'm just kind of sitting here going back and forth and saying, this is the perfect time. Everyone's going to be looking at you. That's like in the hardcore sphere before you try to attract a much broader base, is like just letting people know, like, we're back to sort of maybe potentially focusing on what drives value to our console. At the same time, I mean, what's really sticking out in my brain, normally I'd be like, I'm aboard the exclusives train. But what just sticks out in my brain is what Jez shared a few weeks back, where he was like, yeah, like they're not producing any new series consoles because like Microsoft almost deliberately crippled that part of their business. And so for them to produce exclusives to just are they okay? I mean, again, I always go, are they okay with that? They're just not going to they're not going to sell new consoles. They're just reaching their core base. Are they okay with that? Are they okay making what a multi-trillion-dollar company would call small-time money in the millions, instead of like the billions? Are they okay with that? If they somehow are, which is really hard to imagine, then like, sure, I could see exclusivity coming back in the short term. But if they can't sell new hardware, then, like Jez kind of pointed to in his article, it's like, well, then why would you go for exclusives right now? That's what gets me to balk. Otherwise, I'd be all aboard the train. I think if I were to settle into a prediction, I'm saying logo removal. I think it's subtle enough where it doesn't, where it sends a message and social media will do its thing. I don't think it's heavy enough where it puts you in a corner, and it maybe lets you gauge a little bit on how people respond to things. And at the end of the day, it is, like Rand said, kind of returning to a bit of a norm of like, hey, at the end of the day, you want people to buy games on Xbox, even if they're third party, because you get a bigger slice of the pie. If they go and buy their third party, if they look at your showcase and they're like, oh, okay, that game during the Xbox showcase is on my PS5, I'm just going to buy it there. It's like, the point of like third party marketing is so that people buy that game on your platform because you think it's going to sell a volume of units that's going to like make your investment into marketing that game worth it so you can make more money off that game, even though you don't own it. It's not like first party or something like that where you're getting all the revenue. So you want people to use your storefront. So I feel like at least removing the logos will guide people to that storefront, potentially create that association. That's what PlayStation and Nintendo have done so expertly, and Xbox did as well for a while. So that's where my prediction really lies on that. But Cog, I want to kick it over to you now. I know we've gone back and forth on this a little bit here, but it's June, what is it, 6th? That's the showcase, June 6th. It's Sunday afternoon. You're sitting there, you're watching the show. Does Asha step out and make a bold statement about exclusivity? Does she settle the masses? Does she say all single player? Does she pull a PlayStation? All single player narrative driven games will be exclusive to our platform, or does she just go with the logo removal route? What are we feeling, Kyle?
That is the $1 million question. We are in the weirdest timeline because there's so much uncertainty, and like you guys both said, there's been a lot of disruptive but yet small change in the short time that she's been there. And I will say, the last two moves that she made, and I know it's part of the news items. If you guys covered it and I missed it last week, fine. But I'm looking at the Matthew Ball joint.
Yeah, we haven't covered that yet. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry, apologies.
No, you're good. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Let's dive in.
That is a significant change because the way I look at it is, this is a person who really has been following the trends of the industry. He's highly respected. And for her to bring him onto the team, first of all, I didn't realize he was available to be snatched.
Yeah, I didn't know that he was I thought he was like an independent dude making his slides, being an analyst, kind of helping different companies. I thought he was a free agent, a mercenary. I didn't know this guy was like looking to sign somewhere. Yeah, exactly.
Totally caught me off guard. 1,000%. And I remember when I came across his information, it was very detailed, and I used to read it. And that was at a time I didn't know who he was. And I actually had a brief conversation with Phil at the time, like, hey, to see if you get really good information, but you bring it to someone to see, okay, is this reputable? And the consensus between him and many people was like, this guy is revered. He is, everyone follows him. So the fact that she got him now part of leadership team and she's made some other moves, to me, signifies there is some form of change. But now circling back to exclusives, yes, something's going to happen because like Rand said, you can't throw this in our face and then say, we've heard you, and then you keep bringing it up to us, right? In the past, it was kind of like, hey, gaming is for everyone. Gaming, is to be shared and so on and so forth. So I do feel something has happened. The other thing that is very interesting to me is the player voice portal. And as you can see, Maddie, what was the number one fan requested thing, right? Yeah. Exclusive. It dominated by far. So they see that as well. So to the question, what are they going to do? My gut right now still says subtle because I think they're still figuring it out. And I still think in order for exclusivity to go the way that maybe the hardcore may want it, there is a decision about Game Pass that may have to be had. And that's something that they may have to address down the road. But for the short term, I'm going to go with a Helix-based game. So what I mean by that is saying something that may be in development that won't come out immediately. Like, for example, Halo, Campaign Evolved and Fable, they've already said, hey, that's coming to PlayStation, right? So maybe that's too far along in development for them to rip that off of PlayStation, so to speak. But I will say something that may align in the launch window of a Helix, whether it be late 2027, early 2028, potentially 2020. I know Rand is strong on 2028, especially with the RAM stuff going on. That they may introduce exclusivity that way with a future title and see, okay, from an experimental standpoint, how does this go? What is the data that we get from that? And I think, because to your point, Maddie, I think you made a fantastic point in terms of we know about supply chain and Series X and S's. There's just not enough out there. You know what I mean? So I think my gut is just right now that if they are to do it, it may be with future titles that are on the horizon and experiment that way.
Sure.
See, I think, not to really disagree with your sentiment, I think they already know exactly what they're going to do. I think she already knows. I think it's one of those things where it's like a card they're going to keep in their pocket where it's not something you want to drop right away. It's kind of something you carry with you. But I do think they already know what they want to do regarding exclusivity.
Yeah, you have to imagine they're leaning in a direction already.
I mean, because
that's why I've always been kind of pro it coming back, because like we've all just said and agreed upon. It's like the whole floating it out there. It's like if they weren't going to do it, I guess what I find myself is like, remove Jez's reporting for a moment. I'm like, are they really that clueless where they would be like, okay, let's float out that we're debating exclusivity to just pull it back in? It's like, why did we do that in the first place? Why'd you put yourself in that position? Or is that, I mean, they did say there, what was it, Cog? What'd you call it? The 10 Commandments, like, you know, communication with kindness or something like that, you know? So maybe that's part of the philosophy. We'll learn more as we go along, but I do feel like when you start to unpack that a little bit, it's like, why would you bring it up if you're not going to do it?
Right. No, I get it. I guess to your point, Rand, I understand what you're saying. Like usually, you know, you have that 5-year plan, right? As far as what do you intend to do, and it's already set in stone. I think because there's so many moving parts in this. Remember, she's taking over from a regime that, let's just be honest, that it didn't work, right? So it's like now we're replacing things, you know, with Game Pass. We're lowering it. We're removing Call of Duty out of it. We're doing all these things in real time, right? Now, to your point, yeah, there's a North Star that eventually that they may have decided on already. But I guess the thing that is very different about this is that the team is still being formed while they're getting to the North Star. It's not like everything's in place and it's like, yeah, this is what we're doing and we're ready to go. And the fact that she's still receptive to talk to very high-end industry leaders and stuff like that from numerous people. The Netflix situation, obviously the Shaw Layden thing we talked about, you know, all these different people, she's still receptive to take feedback, Seamus, you know, that kind of thing. So I think to your point,
she's really hit like she's hit the whole highlight reel, right? Yeah. And got back to the ball. It's like, yeah, she's hit like everyone we know.
Yeah, to Rand's point, there's probably a general idea of what they want to do. It's again the Matthew Bell thing, man. I don't know what it is, man. Like that thing really resonated with me. Like, okay, they are going for something. And the last thing I'll leave is this. And I think me and you, Rand, we've had this discussion before, which is there's going to be a cost for whatever this thing is in regards to exclusive. If we truly are to have exclusives, there's going to be a cost. What you usually call it, the monkey's paw?
Yeah, where it's like, well, with ABK is like you wish for ABK and they ended up going multi-platform. It's a monkey's paw's wish, right? Type of thing. And, you know, for those that don't know who Matthew Ball is, you know, he's an analyst, but one of his positions, he kind of has been very... very down on Game Pass.
Exactly.
Like down on the cannibalization of like the games or whatever. And now he's like chief strategy officer. And like his two stated goals was one of them was to strengthen the console business again, which is a very interesting for him to say because console's been a naughty word at Xbox for a couple years at this point. And so like, when you think about what does that mean, like winning with consoles or the strength of consoles, it's like, are they talking in North America? Or is he more referring to like, we need to kind of go after China or some of these other places where like consoles aren't like, you know, some of the like Brazil and some of these other places where it's like, you can get an inroad there because you're probably kind of, let's be honest here, you're probably screwed for like Europe and some of those places where it's like a Sony foothold and Nintendo. And you look at like what Matthew Ball said, and he's not also the biggest fan of exclusives either, but he's also not a big fan of Game Pass. And it's like, okay, is he there? And I look at him like, if Asha wants to go one way, it's always good to have someone who maybe would want to push against your ideas instead of having just people there who are just yes men and cut their checks or whatever. So I saw that move. Like, and I'm sure like Maddie's the same way. Like when she was hiring all these people from Core AI, it was like, all right, well, yeah, these are the people she worked with. She probably trusts them. And it's like, I don't know how this is going to work. But when she hired Matthew Ball, I was like, oh, that's different. That's interesting.
That's interesting. That's someone who is tracking how the industry is going and may push back at a lot of things. To your point, right? That is very interesting.
And I think we said in that original show when all this went down, back when Phil retired and she came over, I said that if you just wanted to keep everything the same, you probably just let Sarah take over. If you want to continue down the path that Xbox was heading. So I felt like this meant there's going to be some changes, maybe some of them for good, and maybe potentially some of them for the bad. Like, because I don't know. And one of those things could be like, is Game Pass a major factor in Matthew Ball's plans for the future? You don't really know. So, I mean, I guess really anything. This is like, at least what I think I said to you before, Cog. I was like, Xbox is at least interesting again.
Yes.
Where like, Maddie, like before it was like you kind of knew the path they were going. We were just kind of along for the ride, but you knew like here's the incline. Oh, here's a rake they're going to step on this week. Oh, here's a rake they're going to step on the next week. Yep. And you knew exactly the path they were going to trend. Now it's like, I don't know what's going to happen. Asha may capitalize the words Xbox and make it official. Which she did. So
Twitter
who knows? That's why it's like this showcase could be very interesting because they could go pretty bold and make a statement on her, her reign right now. So,
and last interjection, because you're on fire with that, is that I don't know if you saw the quote that Guy Richards had said that he expects something like very bold that we are not even prepared to in this specific showcase to kind of understand that's about to happen, in addition to all the other games and things that they got going on. And then the other thing that was kind of assuring, obviously with her Twitter account, one of the things me and you, Maddie, said was that, in this transition with her now being the head of Xbox, how forward facing is she going to be in terms of the showcase, right? So now we've seen the picture with her, like she's in it. Like, so I was like, okay, so I feel like there will be some form of messaging, and we may get the slow indicators. It's like any sports team, like when the new, offensive coordinator, new defensive coordinator come in, like how is the offense going to run now, right? You know what I'm saying? Like we're going to get small inklings. To Maddie's point, yes, this is still the Phil Sarah game showcase from the standpoint of what was cultivated, but now direction of the franchise, how you intend to run the team, we're going to get little nibbles and stuff that we can pull from it.
That's what I'm most eager to learn, is her Hail Marys, if she has any in store. I think they're clearly in a get the fan back type of focus. And so I think about just like we got to throw a fucking bomb to the end zone here. Like and is that exclusivity, which I think is a very big business decision to make on just vibes. So maybe not that, but like what games you always talk about your title card. And I feel like she might be a title card chick. She might straight up just be like, New Vegas 2? All right, let's do it. Like, yeah. Like, you guys are going to make it one day. Banjo? Like, yeah.
Hey,
like,
wow.
I went over some fans, the 10 Banjo fans that exist. Go right ahead.
Oh, they go. You said the 10. Yo, they would go crazy. Crazy. Let's go classic.
Hey, I want my Banjo bros to be happy at some point. Game was in development. Game was canceled. Unfortunately.
So disrespectful.
So, yeah, like that's the thing, is I feel like this falls into that pocket. With Matthew Ball, I'm also interested to see, like, a lot of people are high on him, and there's nothing wrong with him per se, but just like, this is also the guy who was floating around that, like, if Rockstar were to charge $100 for GTA 6, they'd be leaving money on the table, is what he was saying. And like, we saw Xbox kind of foam at the mouth last year with Outer Worlds 2 and how that just quickly got a bullet put in it. Like it really doesn't help their game. So if you got Mr. $100 who's saying, like, according to his analysis and like the people he spoke to, he's like, people are hoping for this, by the way. So like, what kind of strings is this guy also pulling is what I got to wonder as well, because again, that kind of factors into what you guys are talking about with like anti-Game Pass, right? It's like, you got to sell for this price to get your money back. So I'm not saying this guy's going to come in and make Xbox games $90 or something like that. But his analysis does bring into like, okay, well, where do you want to trend all of this to? Like, we've heard for years and years and years now, like, man, games are so underpriced for the cost they are to make them. Like, I think Strauss Zelnick was just saying it. There's analysts who are saying that GTA 6 cost over $1 billion to make. It's not an official number. So yeah, GTA 6 will no doubt like blow down the gates for whatever game pricing is going to be. Like, it's going to become the new range. If they stay at $70, it's going to destroy companies straight up. It's going to be a wrecking ball. People are going to be like, well, we can't charge 80 like we wanted to. That's it. But anyway, I wanted to refresh people on that as well, because he was saying here, 60% of consumers who expressed interest in GTA 6 said they would definitely or probably buy the game at $70, whereas 35% of consumers who expressed interest in GTA 6 said they would definitely probably buy the game at $100. There's more to it than that, but
right.
Definitely something to keep in mind.
Give me the data points. What's that, man?
Maddie, I was wondering, with those exclusivity thing, do you think it makes their decisions easier or harder, seeing how Sony and Valve are moving? That Sony's pulled back on PC, and that Steam is trying to enter their living room space. Does that make the decision easier for them, harder for them? Because when they started Project Latitude or whatever, it was, they I guess even when they started Helix, the thought was Sony's games will be on our box. Now they won't be.
Yeah.
And Steam's entering the market. Does that mean do you have to then with Asha be like, well, we need to have reasons to buy in here? I wonder if it makes the decision to be easier, and you could use that, to kind of convince Satya or Amy Hood or whoever needs, be like, hey, they're doing this, we need to do this too, type thing.
My read is that the circle's going back to the beginning, in that all these companies are starting to fortify their storefronts. I know PlayStation didn't make a public move about it, but them saying hey, single player games are going to go to their console versus, we're seeing where their fans go for multiplayer games. Marathon, according to estimates, most of their player base is on Steam. Helldivers 2, also, their most successful live service product, infinitely more players on Steam. So they kind of see that, okay, we can't abandon the base for multiplayer projects, but Steam is, when you're giving everything over to Steam, I think they've become the new, I shouldn't say new, they've been a threat for a while, but I think now they are perceived as that threat. We cannot feed the beast. And I think that's what PlayStation's doing. And and they're doing it to fortify their storefront. Xbox needs to do the same, in my opinion. If they want to make things like the Microsoft Store an actual option, or your Xbox app an actual option. I don't touch this stuff because not just I don't think it's great, I have no reason to. Just get it over on Steam, right? So they need to maybe also consider not feeding the beast a little bit. Again, not fully advocating for it, but I think Steam and their kind of moves, PlayStation and their moves, are putting some light pressure on them overall. I don't know if it's going to, until it's public and more demonstrative, I don't know if it's going to influence things heavily, but I definitely feel like everyone's fortifying their storefronts, because I think the next step is really producing a lot of content. You look at the rate that China, South Korea, Japan can make their games at, Europe, just in general, anywhere not in the United States. I think that's why you're seeing a lot of development operations lead to outsourcing. They're apparently, I saw Rebs Gaming say that most of Halo Campaign Evolved is outsourced, or Bethesda outsourced to Virtuos, who I believe is a French team. I might be completely mistaken on that, but they outsourced the Oblivion remaster nonetheless. We're seeing I think a lot of creative ways to try to compete. And I think step one is fortifying your storefront. And step two is finding a way to increase the volume of content, because people aren't going to buy your box for, people were saying that with PlayStation. When PlayStation jumped the prices, saw a lot of conversations on Reddit, Twitter, YouTube comments. I don't care, because I'm not going to buy a PlayStation for one Naughty Dog game every 10 years. I don't care. I got a million other things that are appealing over here, and I can live with missing that. I think the industry is understanding people can live with missing us if we're gone for long enough. That generational impact just fades. And so I think just, I think ultimately they need to fortify those storefronts with a volume of content. And I don't know if AI is going to be the play on that, but, China's definitely going to outproduce all of these devs, and they're doing it for way cheaper. So I think that is also part of the play here, is you have to have your major players draw the attention, like a Fable or a Gears. And then you need to mass produce, basically. You can only get these here, and then find a way to make lots more entries for these franchises. I think that's the play. If because I don't see why, if PlayStation isn't growing rapidly, why they would have this strong desire to leave Steam behind. But I think it's because they know they're feeding a beast. They're losing money ultimately, because they get a lot by getting people into their ecosystem, and hey, get this exclusively here. So that's kind of my long-winded thought, my rambly thought on it. I do think the move into the living room from Valve is putting on pressure and stuff. Like I'm sure Steam just growing at an enormous rate. Like Capcom just said earlier this year, like Steam's or PC's like their lead platform now, which I think about like just earlier Capcom games and how like their ports were not really great. And like they were not a PC led company at first, but they saw a lot of growth there and targeted it. So, Capcom was like a big PlayStation first company though. So I feel like, that they're losing in these small parts. So I feel like when you're bleeding in those areas, like you have to fortify your storefront to get people in there. Cause then if they have the option to buy a Capcom game and you already have them engaging in their ecosystem, maybe they'll be more likely to buy that game there instead of say on their PC, or maybe they'd be less inclined to buy a PC. I'm rambling now, but that's just my thoughts on it. Yeah. It's not a position I envy them being in Xbox where it's just like not an easy choice, but I think they take the subtle route ultimately. Does anyone else have thoughts on this? I'm sorry, I just went for a while.
You cook. Now you're cooking.
Oh man,
it's just one of those things. It's a tough thing because, like I said, PlayStation is so guarded towards their console ecosystem, and they have to be because it's part of the core business. And you have a very aggressive contender that is Valve and Steam, and that ecosystem that is beloved to the point where people do not want to utilize another storefront on PC unless it's Steam. And the only pushback I would give PlayStation is the fact their implementation of their strategy on PC was that delayed 1 year. Pretty much they never did day and date to kind of reap the benefits for the single player games, right?
Yeah,
so, and that's fine. So I think what it is they've looked at it like, okay, we don't even want to risk that and tempt that. We still want people to, purchase our console. The question becomes, are PC gamers going to buy a PlayStation for one, like you said, Matty, one specific game a year later? And to me, the data would trend to be no. And I think also PlayStation realized that, hey, they can't afford to not put, the multiplayer in the live service games day and date because the majority of their base for those games are living there. So they're in a tough spot, whereas Xbox is kind of like they've already had this synergistic relationship with Windows and PC and then putting it day and date already. The question becomes with Helix, is Steam too much of a threat where you need to question putting that storefront on Helix? That's a tough decision they're going to have to make because some people are going to say, hey, Microsoft gets all the money, but at the same time, wouldn't you want more people to have, access to the game? And then when you look at like a Forza Horizon 5 or all these games, Forza Horizon 6, that, they're selling well on PC as well, on Steam as well. So that's the tough part with Xbox because they've already opened that box and they've already had that synergy day and date from the beginning. So these are the tough questions, again, that Asha and everyone's going to have to make as the looming PC, continues to grow and exclusives become, a question in this whole battle.
Right on. Anything else from you, Rand, or shall we move to our next subject?
You guys covered pretty much everything.
Okay. Let's stick with some of the high level stuff here. Business decisions, hardware, right? Cog was just talking about Helix. We saw the Elite 3 controller leaked as a rechargeable battery pack. Interesting move for Xbox there. There was a button that will allow you to switch between like local mode and cloud mode. So looking pretty sharp. Probably going to cost you an arm and a leg. Bless those out there who want to pay for that controller. But I would imagine this has a chance of being there, but also Helix has been talked about a lot, specifically at GDC. So, Cog, I'll kick it to you since you brought up Helix. Do we see Project Helix at this summer showcase?
It's a good question.
With the name reveal as well.
That's a good point. Is this a kind of Project Scorpio moment where they're like, here's the idea? Or is this a straight up like, here's the box, here's what we're doing, here's our strategy? Like, on the anniversary year, do they do it?
I was so bullish coming into this before, and now I'm kind of like cooling because of like, I'm looking at the Steam machine and what's been going on with them. And obviously, as of recording, we saw the Steam Deck OLED just get a $300 price increase as far as the hardware. So again, not that they were going to announce the full thing and say it's available in stores. They weren't going to do that. But I thought that they would announce it in the idea that in 2027, potentially, it could come out. And now with everything so volatile, I don't know, Red.
You're second guessing yourself?
Yeah,
because at that point you're wondering, why not just wait to 2028? I mean, PlayStation came out, Sony came out in their financial thing and said they don't know when the launch of the price of the PS6 at this point.
Yeah.
And with all that fluctuation, it's like, do they have a dedicated segment here for something that potentially might still be 2 years away? Or are they just going to be like, you know what, we're going to release it in 2027. We'll bite the bullet. It's got to be $1,000 or $1,200. That's what it's going to be. I mean, you were pretty confident.
I was confident coming in. I have cooled, and the market conditions are just too volatile. Unless the only way I can see it is if they've allocated some memory thing. They've had all these different things in place to kind of safeguard them, but I just don't know how in this climate. So I'm gonna say for now, no. I think from a Helix standpoint, we got what we got, which is GDC development. We're making it easy for developers. We told you we're working on one, but we're not ready to just talk about that just yet. And then because that would encompass, outside of what a code name reveal, what the system will reveal. And then usually when you do that, you're ready to go in 2027. So I think right now that's on hold. We probably got to make one more year. So that's what I'm going with right now.
Okay.
So you don't think it'll be there at all, is what you're saying?
I think we're going to get, obviously, the leaked Elite controller, right? Elite 3, right? Hopefully that got
even worse, bro. Just a raw controller review taking up some showcase space, man. Save that for the Xbox Wire post. Like, come on. I'm flicking that one away, man.
You want to see the graphics rotate?
Yeah, like it's the same thing when PlayStation showed up with their speakers. I'm like, what are we fucking doing here? Like, come on.
Marketing team about to go ham.
Yeah,
and you're gonna get the sound effects and all that.
Yeah. I mean, wasn't the Elite 2 like very problematic? Didn't it have a ton of issues as well? Like,
I mean, mine broke after a couple months. And I think almost the build quality. But the build quality is pretty. We'll see if they fix it. But isn't there also another controller? There's that. It was a weird looking controller.
Weird looking cloud based kind of.
The cloud based controller. Yeah, dude. That that shit looked like a dollar store. Like, when like you pull up in like one of those convenience stores and they're like 20 games in one pack, and you see like the little controller, and then it comes with like the yellow and the red and white cables, and you plug it into these dinky shitty fucking flash games. Like, that's the controller you're playing on, bro. That shit
look cheap. No, I go.
No, that's the controller you play on when you sit down with your older brother and he hands you the second controller, like brand or whatever.
Yep. The little bro controller. That's what we got.
Yeah. So I'm cool on hardware right now, outside of some controllers right now. Yeah, I'm just cool. Market conditions are just a little too volatile right now. I hope I'm wrong though, because as a person, look, I'm a huge Helix fan. I want the Helix. I'm glad it exists. First party. I love the development, how they're making things easier. You make it on PC, it becomes Xbox, 30 minutes or whatever. I've watched the latest GDC video. Everything they got going, it sounds amazing for developers. I would love to be wrong, but trust me, if it came out 2020, I'm there day one. But I just don't know. Not with this climate.
You see, I think it's going to be there, but not in the way like you would think, where it's like a dedicated segment. I do think it gets mentioned more in the sense of like Asha talking about the future of Xbox, where she mentions like, here's the Xbox Series X and S, and here's the new controllers we just announced, and our commitment to console is 100%. We announced Project Helix coming in the future, not really standing firm on a date or everything, but I do think it will be announced in some form or fashion, but it won't be like a. Like, I don't think it'll be like the video of like Scorpio, where you have like Mike Ibarra being like, he eats monsters for breakfast or whatever. Right. I think it'll get a token mention.
Yes,
a token mention, and that'll be it.
I agree. No Kareem Chowdhury, no Mike Ibarra, no superlatives. Just a mention that so that the base knows that it's still coming. We're still committed to console, and it'll be mentioned. But I don't what they call it, the vignette. I don't see
I don't think
that
they can
right
help
now.
themselves, bro. They can't help but
Would it be
pound
too
their
early?
chest. No, I'm just saying, like the whole like world's most powerful
Yeah.
console ever. Like
The
they
console that eats
can't
monsters for breakfast,
help
that eats
themselves.
monsters for breakfast.
Yeah, dude. Like they can't help themselves. Like if they reveal they're going all in, like they're gonna fucking hype this thing up to the moon and not be like, what was Sarah Bond saying? Like it's a premium console, it's a premium experience. Like carefully just wording. Like I think they're just gonna go in if they do reveal it. I'm a little sheepish on it.
Okay.
I have to say, just because of how far out it may be. At the same time, it's like they're trying to inform devs on this clearly because they're like, we're handing out alpha kits top of next year. But I ultimately feel like it's what I almost think it would be a mistake to reveal it now simply because what they have the chance to do as they are kind of course correcting their messaging is obviously it seems like this is an Xbox. It is out the door. It's like, it's goodbye, at least the way it's being communicated. Now is your opportunity to start laying the pieces down. Like they've been talking a lot. Chris Charlo was talking to IGN in an interview saying like, we really want you to make one Xbox version and it applies to all these units. Whatever that ends up being, it's like, let's start working to that kind of as the North Star. Back compat, how is that going to work? How, like, if you're going to be this kind of PC console hybrid, let's start establishing those building blocks so we have built-in knowledge. So when we see it, these questions are answered. So when I see Helix, I don't think, what about my 360 games? What about my Xbox One games? What about my like original Xbox games? Answer that now, which it seems like there's a good chance. Back compat, we can kind of talk about that in the same breath here. I think back compat is something that can seemingly come back because I was just double checking the info here, and on their GDC post, they said, we're committed to keeping games from 4 generations of Xbox playable for years to come. As part of our 25th anniversary later this year, we'll be rolling out new ways to play some of the most iconic games from our past. Doesn't really confirm a new addition to the library, but I would imagine, could be wrong, but I would imagine that this is something they're going to do on top of that. But it sounds like basically your Xbox games will be playable on PC in full. Right now, the way you would get some games, you have to stream them, which isn't ideal for a lot of people. So we'll go around the horn again, just with that in mind. Do you think we see some building blocks to that next gen vision? Like, Rand, do you think back compat's here in a meaningful way? Do you think we see it? Like, is there a new library edition? What are you thinking for that?
I think back compat's going to be saved for a 25th anniversary stream. I think that's where I personally think they saved that for, like a batch of the last batch of back compat stuff from Activision or whatever. I think that's in November, not at the showcase, personally.
Okay. Cog, what about you? You feel an anniversary stream? You thinking this summer, pop all the bottles? What do we think?
It's a good question. I don't know. I think what throws me off is that I thought they would more talk about it in a world where Helix would have more of a presence at the show. But now that I'm leaning towards Helix not being there, then I feel it's less likely, you know what I mean, to be there, because to me, it's a signature for Helix, like Red kind of alluded to, which is like, okay, you alluded to earlier, which is like, hey, all your generation of games go with you to the next console. So if Helix has less of a presence, then I feel, less of the fact that it would be there. So yeah, again, I would agree with Rand on this one that probably not that just yet. Unfortunately, give me some Activision games, give me my Transformers games, damn it, please. But it is what it is.
Yeah, I'm gonna say yes. I feel
all right.
Yeah, I like this. It's complete, like, just feeling in my nuts, dude. Like, just let's just let it rip here.
Feeling your plums.
Let me ask you this then. So, do you think it was something that was originally going to be scheduled for the 25th anniversary that maybe they bumped up to like the showcase as kind of like you mentioned earlier, like they got to make that touchdown Hail Mary throw to the fans?
Yeah, I think this is
something that you kind of consider along that vein where like they move it up because it would be important to
I think
fans?
It would be important to the core base. I think it'd be fun. And I think you can have a balance of this. Like, I think you could tell PC fans, like, hey, you can play these old games. And I think that's going to be appealing. I think but I think it comes with a library edition. That library edition, friends, has been all those leaked. This Activision game suddenly got listed. Suddenly, Marvel Ultimate Alliance is on Steam. It's been taken down. COG Transformers is back on Steam, delisted. It's Marvel Ultimate Alliance. It's back. TMNT. It's back. And it's gone. I'm like, you don't flip this many switches by accident. It's happened 5 times.
Yes.
They and at least when it comes to Hasbro, who's very active in the gaming space, I think COG, good news for you. I think Transformers will be the main one that comes back. I don't know if they're gonna. Nickelodeon's very involved in gaming. I'm sure TMNT, their old games will come back. Marvel's involved. I think they can come back. What ones those are is anybody's guess. But I do feel like that is the biggest missing piece right now when it comes to their back compat program, because they always talk about like the barriers being obviously can it run, but licensing, legal stuff. And now they own these companies, they own these games. And I feel like that may remove some hurdles for them where there are more additions to the library they can make. Again, I don't see why so many Activision licensed games are just getting listed and delisted over the last year or so. It just keeps happening. And so I'd be out of my seat for this if they make these types of additions because, for example, I was working on a 007 video for Retro Rebound. Did you guys ever play 007 Legends? Deep cut here.
What was it? A 360 game?
Yeah, 360 PS3 era game.
I played it.
Okay. You remember with the like how they didn't include the ending on disc? You had to download it.
God, dude, I don't. What are we talking? We're talking like 2009, right?
Yeah, this is well over a decade ago. So I only remember this because I've been researching it. So I would have been like totally stunned if you guys were like, yeah, I remember that fucking shitty game and how it. So they didn't include the ending on disc. The only version of that game that has the ending on disc because it came out a year later was the Wii U version. Otherwise, you had to go onto the PlayStation storefront or the Xbox store and download the Skyfall mission, which was the ending to the game. Otherwise, the game just ends and that's it.
It's wild.
So there's just these, like, that was a great example of like, this is why game preservation matters. This thing is a heaping pile of shit. I'm not going to act like I love the game, but it literally shipped incomplete and we leaned on DLC and now it's just like, oh, well, you can't finish the game unless you play the Wii U version. It's like no one wants to play the Wii U version of 007 Legends. So I would just like to see these games come back and get preserved properly. Because if they come back, maybe there's a chance like companies such as Limited Run, I Am 8-Bit step in and kind of like get these things on a disc. That's, I think, really important. We're seeing more and more of that stuff in our industry. So I feel like Back Compat gets the green light. I think it's one of those kind of marked easier wins for the community. I think it's going to remind them of the good old days. Because one of my favorite announcements ever was like, I forgot who made it. I think it might have been, was Phil on stage for it, where they had like I remember the image so well. They're like, your 360 games will be playable on Xbox One, and you saw like the rows shifting.
It was Phil, and then Ybarra came out the demo playing like Mass Effect.
Yeah. Correct. Yeah, it was led by Mass Effect. And like, I remember like all the games just sifting through. It was like over 100 games. I was like, dude, fuck yes. Like,
to this day, to your credit, Matty, that was my first E3. To this day, I've been to a bunch of E3 since. That was the loudest pop I've ever heard in the crowd when they announced it. They were like, and it is free. And people were like, what? Yeah. Loudest pop I've heard at an Xbox conference was that announcement.
So I'm thinking about the vibes. This is a vibe pick. The vibes, the energy, what it does for that. Xbox is trying to remind you, at least right now as it seems, of the good old days. And I think Back Compat is something that they maybe don't want to wait until an anniversary for. I mean, they certainly have enough moves to make throughout the year where they could do something else for their anniversary, get the rap guy involved, do something for your Series X.
Relax.
Return to console. There you go. There's your return to console.
Red, to Maddie's point, I'm looking at the player's voice. It's the number 3, 15,000.
That's why.
It's an easy W.
That's why I mentioned it's something that could have been earmarked for the 25th anniversary that they move forward because it would be a W, another check mark off the play. We're going through the player voice.
Going through the player voice.
You guys said you wanted hours and not days. Boom, done in a day or whatever, right? So
I got to ask you guys on a little side tangent here about player voice. How much do you think Xbox is making decisions on that? I already shared my piece with Locke last week. I was kind of like,
where you at with it?
I don't think they make any big decisions based on it. I think it creates visibility for low level issues though that can be heightened. I think that's what it's there for. But do you guys believe in this thing? Do you think like they're looking at it, they're like, oh wow, 17,000 people really want exclusives, like pull the trigger, or like how much of an influence?
I'll tell you what Jez says about it, right?
All right.
Jez says he thinks the player voice thing was essentially a data point that Asha could take back to the bosses and being like, look, this is what they want. Because Microsoft's all about data points and everything. Like the community wants this. It's something that they could refer back to and being like
instead of saying 17,000 people voted, just say it's our number one thing.
Well, whatever it would be, but like these are what people want. We should deliver it or whatever. I mean, I think some of the stuff on there they probably were already thinking of. It's just a matter of like the all the changes with achievements. Well, not changes, but like the facelifts where they added like the new animations. They had it so like if you have 100%, it kind of darkens the bar a little bit, and I think there was something else. Oh, the gamer score badge, where like depending on how much you have, like there's a thing in there where people are like, give Xbox its own platinum, right?
Oh, dude, so overdue.
And the thing is, I know for a fact that there are 2 other instances where that project was almost completed that they abandoned at the end.
So they
stopped.
They abandoned the platinum push twice.
Yes, twice.
Fuck them, dude. Fuck whoever made that choice.
But here's the thing, though. With with everything they're doing now along that stuff, I sort of feel like it's inevitable that actually gets finished. You know what I mean?
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Well, it's one of those things where, at least the way I was told, was that priorities shifted, and like the people that were working on it had to move to a different thing. So
kind of like FPS boost. Like,
yeah, it was kind of just like, the champion behind it was like had to go do something else, and then it kind of. But no, it's been almost done. I've had conversations with Phil about this. There's this one thing Phil told me about that they were going to introduce, and I'm sitting there listening to him, and I'm like, that sounds cool. Never came, and I remember like 2 years later being like, what happened to this thing, Phil? He's like, oh, you just didn't
I talked in the interview too soon,
whatever. But it's like, all right, but no, I think they'll take a look at some of those things, and then they could use it for be like, hey, people want platinum. It's an easy way to like, hey, push it through. Let's do it, and some of those other things. But I guess it depends on how cynical you are. And I know, Maddie, we are cynical people by nature most of the time. Right? Yeah. It's like, okay.
How do you get there almost twice? That's horrible. that's so heartbreaking. They were almost there twice.
That's weird.
Like, what a touch and go system there. Like, all right, this time for real. Like, finish it out, guys. No, actually, no, we need you on FPS boost, Jason, please.
It's more like, we need you on the mobile push because that's more important.
Yeah.
I mean, hell, I don't know. We had Ybarra on Xbox 2+1 a long time ago, and he dropped that nugget about the Xbox career system. If you forgot about that,
yeah, I remember that.
You would have like levels and stuff, and all these sort of things. That was another one of these.
I remember that because it was supposed to differentiate. So the people who play on the platform, for like say example like me, like a guy who lives, breathes Destiny, right, would be able to still reflect that level of commitment and showmanship with some type of visual representation of like you have mastery or whatever or career in that game and stuff like that. They were flirting with a lot of cool ideas at that time. I do remember that. Yeah,
so maybe some of those come back, but. I mean, they did promise like bi-weekly console updates.
Yes.
Here. Like, and I know people are like, oh, you got, because they pushed some updates to console like right after Asha took over, and people were like, oh, you guys had this in your back pocket. You just waited, right? And like, no, like the engineer was like, no, this is something we started like as soon as she took over. We had these ideas, just greenlit, do it. And I was like, oh, okay, that's cool. So we'll see what else they have in store. I love a platinum thing. I was basically resigned myself to it never happening.
I hate to say it. It really would, though. It really would.
I feel like, dude, they added the gamer score badge and they added I'm like, it's got to be leading up to that.
Oh yeah. Do they do? I mean, hey, we're picking one or the other. Is it a little smorgasbord? Is it like, hey, we got a little of this for you? Like, here's the platinum. Here's a little back compat. Here's like, just like the good old days. Like, here's a little exclusivity. Are they floating with like just flirting with like all this kinds of disaster here? Are we thinking they go that far?
I don't know if they go that far because these
A
are
little bit of everything.
I wonder if these are things that you could kind of sparse out throughout the year for like easy W's essentially, instead of like one big huge push. But maybe the platinums is something you could push at a showcase to get like other people. Dude, just call them Xbox Emeralds or something. You know,
I can go with Crown Jewel. If they do Crown Jewel,
all right.
I will pound my chest on social media and be like, "Those motherfuckers took that idea from me." Crown Jewel,
Xbox this is defining Duke. Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go.
100%, bro. The crown. It would be great. That rolls off the tongue. Oh, I got the Crown Jewel for Halo campaign Evolved.
I mean, I actually like that. I used Emerald because of the green nature of Emerald.
Yeah, that's good too, though. I like that. Yeah,
but
it's gotta be.
I got the Crown Jewel. I like it.
Crown Jewel is fire.
Yeah, bro. They don't even gotta pay me. I'm like, just take it, bro. It's like you have like a crown on your profile. And yeah. You put all the jewels on there from like all the different crown jewels you got. Like, dude. They can make a whole system with that. I always like the career system idea too. Like I hope they get into that sort of metagame stuff because there is a huge community for that.
And like Call of Duty bros.
Yeah, dude. Like, but I'm just thinking like PlayStation's got this loyalist group for platinums, and that's why a lot of people won't leave. Like Colin won't leave because it's like I got my platinums here. But gamer score, I think it means something. It means something to me, but it's like eventually it's just this infinite climbing number. It's like you need something that's like a smaller quantity that you can point to and be like, these 40 things I put a lot of time into.
Facts.
You know? Right. So maybe this showcase. Let's hope.
Cross my fingers.
All right. Well, let's get into the studios now. I put this in alphabetical order, so we'll go through everything from Activision to Bethesda to Xbox first party proper and third party at the end of this all. Let's start off with Activision. This is a range of teams underneath the Activision banner. You've got support studios like Beanox, but you've also got Elsewhere Entertainment. High Moon is here. Treyarch is here. Raven's here. Infinity Ward. Just a bunch of teams beneath it. This is mostly the Call of Duty sweatshop, but again, you have a team like Elsewhere that's kind of off working on their own AAA narrative-driven experience, to my understanding. So we know that the next Call of Duty is Modern Warfare. Do we see this at the showcase? Rand, we'll start with you.
I mean, we know COG wants it there. COG's begging for it to open the show. Please.
Look, I don't mind if it's there. It can't get worse than last year where Phil hit us with the one more thing. And you can't ever do that again. Yeah. Like if they're listening right now and they see CODs at the end or the beginning of the show,
2 years in a row,
like make the last minute pivot. You cannot do that, especially when last year's COD was like very, very controversial. Just bad look overall, you know?
I wonder, I sort of wonder normally I would say this is a shoo-in, right? Part of the Activision thing. They're going to want it at their show. Call of Duty, because even though a bad Call of Duty still sells and quite a lot, but I wonder if they go back to their previous thing of like Call of Duties get revealed in August. Yeah, it's not at the showcase. But I'm with you. I think it's here. I don't mind it if it's like in the middle somewhere, where like maybe a Matt Booty comes out and he starts talking about first party studios or whatever, and you kind of get like a thing of like a stretch of games from first party, and here's Modern Warfare 4. I don't want it to open and I don't want it to close. Because like you said, last year's was a kick in the balls. I'm thinking we're getting something amazing, something real cool, and it's like, oh, it's Call of Duty Black Ops 7. Oh, great.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah. So I'm going to say it's going to be there simply because I do think they want to reinforce the whole Call of Duty is Xbox. Although I guess it depends on how they structure the show in the way of like last year where it was, hey, everything's on Play Anywhere and Game Pass, and we sort of know this year's Call of Duty is not going to be day one on Game Pass. Do they want to like not have missed messaging by having it in the show if you're going to run a thing of like everything you see here is in Game Pass, but like COD's not? So do you not run it and just have its own reveal later in the year and it's not tied to Game Pass in any way? I do wonder about that, but I'll go ahead and say it's there with the trailer.
Okay. Cog, was your official stance on Call of Duty for this showcase?
Oh, he did. Infinity War is gonna be in the building. They're gonna be talking about. Remember, this is the bounce back. They got to get their lick back. They got pummeled last year. Arc Raiders. Was it what you call it, a Battlefield? Like, yeah, there's so much pressure on them. So they're definitely gonna be there. I'm with both of you guys. I actually don't mind if it starts the show, because probably like, yes, it's over with. Like, I wouldn't even mind. Like, get it over with. Like, cool. I'm not here for you at the end. I don't want you as a one more thing. We know you're one of the biggest games in gaming, but you are inevitable. Let someone else with more promise kind of take that slot. As far as Activision in general, though, I do think they got something else in the tuck. So I'm gonna go.
What you got?
They've got there's a couple of studios that I feel like they've got some stuff to show. So I'm going to go with like kind of like something that like an unannounced Activision title, most likely to be there and kind of set the trend. It was something cool and new, because they got a lot of things in incubation. So that's my Activision pick. Yeah, one thing that we know about, and Call of Duty for sure, Infinity War modern, you know what I'm saying? I saw that new little thing they did, the little vignette thing that they got going on. They seem pumped and they're ready to redeem themselves. And to your question, as far as the logos and stuff like that, they'll show it, but at the end, you just won't have your Game Pass. You'll probably just see the XPA play anywhere, but you know what I'm saying? But you ain't gonna see that Game Pass logo, and then that's how they gonna just skate through that. So that's my prediction.
Yeah, when it comes to Call of Duty, I'm actually gonna lean into the no.
Oh, I like this Maddie take.
Oh, Maddie's spicy this episode. Yeah, I like this.
So the reason I'm going with no is I kind of leaning a little bit into what Rand said about, and Cog brought up like getting punched in the face. I think it's a little bit more of like last year's COD was overexposed, and that is a very real thing that can happen. Call of Duty doesn't have a lot of new things to show, and I think the showcase brings a lot of that negative energy with it, because you have to show more and you have to hit all these beats. I think that short window between reveal and release works extremely well for them. This is a Modern Warfare game, so I think they can lean into this one a little bit more safely. But also, I think there's a little bit of this is going to sound backwards, so you guys will kind of have to help me think it through a bit, but almost a decoupling from Xbox in a sense that they lost a lot of money on Call of Duty and Game Pass. And I think you want to go back to marketing this broadly, not just to the Xbox audience, if that makes sense. That's where my head's at a little bit here, is like, we have the numbers based on Schreier's reporting of like, they lost millions of copies sold on this thing. Like, I think you need to go back out there to not just the Xbox faithful who was like playing it every year and downloading on Game Pass, and then you'd hit the other COD bros on different platforms, but just talk to a more broad Call of Duty audience.
Like their own separate show, like kind of thing? Okay, I see.
Yeah, like kind of stand on their own ground. I think, again, that's influenced by trying to recapture the purchase rather than, again, I know Call of Duty's out of Game Pass now. We know that. But again, just trying to double down on like the paying customers rather than, and I'm not saying Xbox fans don't buy their games, but doubling down on those customers and trying to bring more through the door that way, instead of marketing it to the Xbox showcase where that was a particular pain point for them, where they were losing sales on that platform. So I feel that's what's kind of brought me to the no, is like Modern Warfare is a pretty safe win. At least I hope it is. Who knows? Modern Warfare 3 was not that. But Modern Warfare should be a safe win. And it can stand on its own 2 feet. And I think they need to go back to traditional Call of Duty. So I think they rocked the boat a little too much with how Call of Duty's handled. Something like Black Ops 6 felt worth it. That was a very exciting Call of Duty. Great. Yeah, it felt very worth it. They had like all the tent poles hit. They're like, here's open world zombies. Here's this great campaign. Here's this full robust multiplayer. Here's a new movement system. It was a showcase worthy COD. But COD doesn't change that much year to year. And I don't think many people need to be reminded it exists. That's my more hardcore. And I'm saying that in the serious way. Like, we know it's coming. Like, everyone knows it's coming out every year. So if there is room in the showcase for something else, Call of Duty is going to do its thing on its own. Like, and it very easily can, and it's got its own spot. I think I'd be very interested to see if Xbox starts to leverage that stuff from the separate platforms. Like Blizzard uses BlizzCon. Call of Duty can stand on its own 2 feet. You don't have to bring it all into the Xbox show, in my opinion. So that's what I'm saying is a no for Call of Duty, decouple from Xbox a little bit. As for other teams, Toys for Bob isn't with Activision anymore, correct?
No, they're independent.
Yeah. Do you think it's time? I mean, I'll put them under the Activision banner. So. Yeah, I was going to say, do you think it's time?
I think we see what the rumor suggests is Spyro 4.
Yeah.
I think we'll see that. You mentioned Blizzard. Do we think we get anything Blizzard related, like an Overwatch 2 update? I know these are like a Diablo 4. Microsoft loves their live service trailers for games. The StarCraft reveal. Or do you think they save the StarCraft reveal for BlizzCon, which is this year? That's where I think they're going to do StarCraft.
Yeah, I think they hold StarCraft for BlizzCon. I think that's a really big moment for that base too. Diablo just went with something too, right?
They
just dropped.
Yeah, I feel that's spent. You're probably going to give the live service slot to, like, of course, 76, Sea of Thieves, like the typical, always super, the super expected duo of every showcase. Yeah, maybe Microsoft Flight Sim
duo.
Overwatch would be interesting. I think they've been doing some good moves and they've reclaimed a lot of that player base and they've been making people pretty happy as of late. So it could be time for another splash for them. In my mind's eye, I feel like that makes a lot of sense. What about you, Cog? What do you think for Blizzard?
Blizzard's tough because, like you said, they have their own platform where they can kind of control the narrative. But, I mean, the other thing we haven't talked about is I'm not a WoW guy, but what's been going on with WoW? I don't know. Generally, historically, I felt they've had some form of a presence every show, even though it was kind of directed towards the PC community. I got to talk to my boy Petey because he's a WoW guy to see what's going on. There's a part of me that felt like they just dropped something recently also, but I'm not in tune, so I got to double check. But my gut right now just seems I don't feel like they have anything ready unless it's maybe potentially like something with Overwatch that's transformative or a new IP. And to be honest, I just haven't been following and in tune with Blizzard to see, if they're ready to drop right now. So I'm leaning no, but hopefully I'm wrong. I wouldn't mind seeing them.
Yeah. As for Elsewhere Entertainment, which is they describe themselves as a standalone studio to focus on new genre-defining AAA franchises. My guess is this will not be here. Actually, it's funny. There's a job listing that someone found that suggests it's like a open world RPG with multiplayer elements of some kind. But this studio also opened 2 years ago. So I don't think they're ready to show yet. So I'm going to cross them off my personal list when it comes to Activision. So that's about it for Activision. Call of Duty is like the main one for them. Let's move into stuff we really care about. Arkane, Blade.
And you care. We all care about Arkane.
Oh, someone cares a bit more.
Yes. Oh man, what a tough one, dude. Like,
where you at?
I feel like he's leaning no.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Rand got me red there. Yeah, I'm leaning no. I want to see Blade. This feels like a developer direct game to me next year. I could see this being a 2027 game. Because like when was this even announced? This was announced like how many years ago now? Like
this was announced in 2023, I think.
Yeah, this is like one of the highly debated, like, why is Xbox not using their own branding for they finally got a Marvel game. Like we were starting to feel the powder keg get ready to blow. Like, what the hell are you guys doing? It's been long enough where they could show something here. I'd be very pleasantly surprised by this. It might be good to remind people it exists, but I feel like it depends when in 2027, if it's going to drop when. If it's early 27, I'm like, yeah, pull the trigger. Like, let's do it. But I feel this might be a sort of leading off the new year big developer direct game. I think it's that and Clockwork or something like their marquee titles for 27. So I'm leaning a little bit more to no. I think it still needs a little bit more time, especially because it's like a whole new IP for them. So let's get to you, Rand. You read my mind. So are you in the same camp as me?
I'm going to make you happy because I think you will see it there.
Oh,
I think Blade shows up, maybe one of the premier titles of the showcase.
Oh, wow.
You know?
Okay.
So I really am very interested and how like it's the Deathloop team, right?
His favorite.
Yeah,
his love Deathloop.
I think it's so good.
Hey,
Great
at least
game.
it's not the Redfall team.
Yeah,
but no, I think Blade's going to be there.
Oh, okay. So wait, hold on, Reggie. This kid just slide.
Yeah, I was
do that like that. Wait, if it's going to be there, what's that release looking like?
I also think it's late 2027. And it would be like a perfect Helix launch title if Helix was also coming out like in the fall.
Okay.
And I've been going back and forth about what would open the show and what would close.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a part of me that thinks Blade might close. But I don't know if you have a pick. Because honestly, like today was when Maddie hit me up yesterday. He was like,
"Yeah, we freestyling."
I hate to ask you on short notice, but can you do the show tomorrow? I was like, okay. I haven't really even thought about what open or would close or whatever. And so I'm like thinking this whole time because it like I'll just jump it. I think it opens with Fable. And you add a release date to it. Boom, right
set the
there,
tone.
right?
Set the tone.
I feel like
sharing a brain right now. This is kind of crazy.
Right?
Yeah.
Tone.
So I was trying to think, like, okay, what do you end with? Like, we know Gears is the direct game. Okay. I don't think they do Call of Duty again. So I was like, there's something. Yeah, Halo, that's out there. It's like, I was like, what if Blade? Blade, you could close with that. I was like, you know what? So I guess that's what I'm going to go with. I'm going to go with Blade as the show closer.
Game that closes out. Okay. I hope you're right because I would love nothing more than to see there was this kind of immersive sim renaissance happening on social media recently with Dishonored in particular, and like Dinga Bakabo, who's directing Blade, was like all in talking about it, sharing like his old design notes and stuff. Like it was really cool. So like I want them to deliver, and I'm just praying that this is better than Deathloop, man. Like I don't nowadays compared to the generation we've had, there have been way worse games than Deathloop, to be clear.
Oh, that's such high praise, Maddie. There have been way worse games than Deathloop. So many worse games.
I'm just here for the crash out, right? So when we got Redfall, I literally said perhaps I was too harsh to Deathloop because I had no idea what was on the horizon, you know?
I feel targeted. I feel like Maddie's speaking to me because I actually really like that.
How you feel when he goes, his crash out on Deathloop is how I feel his crash outs on the Vial. I'm like, I'll just get thrown tomatoes every day.
He thinks, you like Deathloop? Well, fucking take this.
Yeah. Oh, guys who like this game. The hell is wrong with you?
The beauty of Redfall, I'm very thankful for Redfall because I got a lot of people into Dishonored that way. I was like, dude, y'all would not have tasted greatness if it was not for that thing. Like, you all had to just... Like, why is Maddie so upset? And I'm like Deathloop wasn't worthy of being like so upset. It's a functioning game. It's fine. Dishonored is art. It's so good.
Which one's your favorite? One or two?
God, I have so much nostalgia for one, but two's the better game. You know, like but I love one. I mean,
they're both great.
Yeah,
they're both.
Death of the Outsider is very underrated too. It gets rid of the whole morality thing though, which I didn't think was a great choice, but that's just an era, man. So yeah, like if they can bring all of the Dishonored energy into Blade and leave behind the Deathloop stuff.
What would you consider the Deathloop stuff?
So Deathloop, I thought wasn't as sandboxy.
Okay,
there wasn't as much like I think.
I agree with you. Yeah.
I would say Deathloop also had it was too easy to find like the best shit. Like, I mean, also like that pistol that you get to start off.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Well, pistol is it's great. Like, it's just, I don't need to use anything else. More intelligent enemy AI, just like in roaming and spotting you. That combines with better environments. The environments in Deathloop, a lot of them were just like terrain based. And it's like, okay, that's fine if you want to. But like what was so great about Dunwall is, of course, it's like a very identifiable city visually, but also... Sorry, one of my lights just fell. It scared the shit out of me. It's like totally, I was like, what happened behind me?
Random. Yeah.
Rand's getting pissed, or some ghost in my room was like, what the fuck are you saying about Deathloop? Yeah, the level design wasn't as good, in my opinion. That really kind of took it out of me. So it's just a lot of things. Like, again, compared to the rest of the generation, I would put Deathloop in it's fine. But at the moment, I was like, well, we were getting like good shit. I'm like, this is not, like, you guys are capable of way better. So yeah, if they can basically level up everything that's in Deathloop, and also like with Deathloop, I mean, there was to me the missed promise of like the time loop being an actual thing that you play with. Like that felt like that was the sandbox they were selling, and it wasn't really that. It was just kind of mission spaces. It was more linear. So getting, I mean, what Arkane does so well as a developer is they're very good with non-linear stuff. So I'd like Blade, like there would make nothing would make me happier than a Marvel game with non-linearity. Like, you know, that would be so sick. So that's what I'm hoping for when I say like less of the Dishonored, or sorry, more of the Dishonored stuff, less of the Deathloop stuff. That's what I'm kind of getting at.
Yeah.
And answer the question.
No, yes. I mean, you answered it perfectly.
We get it.
Yeah, we get it. Now that I said Blade's closed, let's go. I'd like to see it on the show. I don't know what else. If you real quickly, I don't know what are your two show unders? Since you got mine's Blade.
Oh, I mean, we can jump into that right now.
I'm just curious. Since I mentioned my show under, I'm curious what your two show unders are.
Okay, well, I'm gonna do real quick. Does anyone have anything else to say about Arkane?
No, other than the fact that I hope it's there. That's it. I just hope Blade's there. I hope so. I'm going to lean towards no, but I hope it's there.
Okay. So Rand's our only yes right now for that one. To answer Rand's question, let's move to our next team here. Bethesda Game Studios.
Oh, okay.
Now we already know where I'm going with this.
I already know where you're going.
Yeah.
Lion Squirrel's got to find a nut one of these years, man. I've been hunting for that nut, and I think I finally found it in 2026. I'm going to say it again. I know I'm like, broken clock is right twice a day. Like I'm pulling all of this out here for Elder Scrolls 6, which Rand is my showcase ending prediction.
You remember I said that was going to end the show last year.
Hey, we got to be right one of these years.
We keep on predicting that one time was going to be right, We got to be right.
Okay. So here's the thing with Bethesda Game Studios, right? How many times are we going to wheel Todd out here to tell everyone?
Wheel Todd out. like he's 80 years old and in a wheelchair. Come on, Todd. Got to get out for the showcase.
It's weekend at Birdie's.
I realize I just framed him horribly. I would roll him out there. That's also bad. But he just takes his jacket on and goes out there for the millionth interview. Todd, when's Elder Scrolls 6? I've asked him this. Everyone who's interviewed him asked him this. And you can see the embarrassment and the frustration. Free my man. Everything centers around this. Free my man. Give us the Starfield trailer, but Elder Scrolls. By that, I mean, here's the setting, here's the lore, here's some light story details. Pick apart this whole thing for a year. And guess what we did as a community? Exactly that. And every time Todd gets a question in the interview, you can just defer to our latest trailer. And then Todd is a wordsmith and he'll just go, we're really proud of it. We're really excited about it. Full teams on it. Then run back all the talking points that you've established over the last 5 fucking years, dude. But this thing needs to get shown off. Is it just Creation Engine 3? We're talking about the engine now. It's upgrading that to it's time to pull the lid a little bit and just satiate, because that's what Starfield had to do. Starfield needed more extended marketing. It was a new IP. Elder Scrolls 6 just needs an update. It's the most damning fact about this game, in my opinion, is that it has been longer between Skyrim and the Elder Scrolls 6 reveal than the Elder Scrolls 6 reveal and right now. That is a tremendously terrible fact about how long it's taken to get this game out the door. And look, we can accelerate that stuff. I'm assuming this is still a 2028 title. I'd love to be wrong and this to be a 27 title, but I think it's one of those things where they're just planted on this thing. They know it's going to sell well, so take your time. But I don't think that means that they have to sit on everything, as in we don't know the setting of Elder Scrolls 6. That is a huge reveal for fans, to know where it's set, to know what races it's built around. That sort of stuff, to see the tech it's being built with, the visual upgrades. I mean, Starfield, for a lot of people, it's aged pretty quickly, and I would agree with a lot of that assessment. But before its launch, we saw the 2022 version. We lined it up with the 23 version, and the 23 version looked really good in comparison. We were like, holy shit, we thought 22 looked good. So Bethesda can kind of do that as well. So I'm leaning that Bethesda Game Studios, I mean, they'll be here with 76, I'm sure, and Elder Scrolls Online, I'm sure. I don't think Fallout remasters show up here, but I think Elder Scrolls 6 ends the show. This is the Hail Mary pick for me. I think this is the safe one to lean into. That's this needs an update. We're not putting ourselves in a corner. This game is releasing hell or high water. Doesn't matter how many years it takes. It's going to come out. It just needs to remind people it exists. Wrap it up with this as a kind of look into Project Helix as a future.
I mean, you want to talk about a big, massive game. You want to like rubber stamp Asha's first showcase on. There's nothing really bigger than Elder Scrolls 6, right?
Yeah.
If you wanted to be like, hey, we're gonna end it with, we're gonna wow people. Here's Elder Scrolls, right? I got my fingers crossed for you, Maddie, because I wouldn't mind this either. Like seeing Elder Scrolls, even though I do agree with you, it's two years at least, minimum 2 years away. I think it's 2028 title. Who knows if it kind of verges into 2029. And then I don't know, what is that, 2035 before you get Fallout 5, Maddie? Another
Brand.
We're still like 9 years away, 8 years away.
Yeah, I was going to say, I used to kind of like fight you on this a little bit, but I think you've been cooking for a while, and I just got to give you flowers. Like, I just got to accept that this is, I'm just going to get, you want to talk about rolling out. They're going to roll out a 76 up there. Be like, here you go, guys. Like,
you know that's coming.
Yeah, like here it is again. And I'm going to have that same moment of like, the thing that, you know what bothers me a little bit, guys? I just got to get this off my chest.
Get it up. I can tell.
Get it off your chest. Come on.
Get it on your
there
chest,
was a special feeling when we saw the Please Stand By TV and you heard that 50s music. You were like, like, dude, that was a special thing. 76 opening every trailer with that is an annual bait and switch. It's an annual like, oh, is it? And the camera pulls out enough and you see like this janky animation. You're like, oh, 76. All right. Like, it's over. So it's that immediate like pulling the plug. Like, you know that feeling? All right. So there's a story. When I was a kid, I remember playing my N64 and my dog walked by and the cable got caught in his foot and pulled it out. No save was made. It was that sort of devastating, like, wow, I thought something was about to happen. It just got completely shut off on me. Kind of same feeling here. That's 76.
That 76 is the dog coming through.
Yeah. I want the power plug on me. It's like I see the TV. I'm like, oh,
this was
power plug pulled. I'm not trying to be a 76 hater. Like I give all of their big expansions an honest try, but like here goes Burning Springs. Here's Walton Goggins. Like big reveal. It's our biggest biome yet, and this shit's like largely a letdown. Like at a certain point, I'm just calling balls and strikes on this game, and I'm like, it's largely been uninspiring. It could do so much more. If 76 gets great, and I'm talking about great for like the hardcore Fallout fan who's like me and like wants that, what Elder Scrolls online delivers to its Elder Scrolls fans. Like it's got that single player satiation, where if I'm in the mood for new Elder Scrolls, going to ESO is actually a great fix for me. It's what's kind of kept me off the ledge here when it comes to ES6. I'm like, dude, ESO's got you. It's a fucking amazing game. I wish I could say that about Fallout 76. I really do, but it's not even like I'm holding on to like 2018's launch. I don't care about that anymore. It's like just the new updates haven't been great enough. So yeah, they're gonna roll that shit out there. Like at least balance the force. This 1 year, balance it a little bit. ES6 little update combined with something about Helix. Let that be the next gen leader. Kind of set the North Star for gamers. I see the vision. But do you, gentlemen, what do you see from Bethesda Game Studios this year? Whoever wants to go first.
I'll jump in. I think it's going to be safe. I honestly think, I don't want to use your wheeling term, but we're going to see Fallout 76. We're going to see the latest update from, them. We're going to see, Elder Scrolls. These are vibrant properties and IPs that are still going, and the ESO community is strong. So I see them coming out with something probably potentially new. Then it comes down to what everybody wants. What's the Maddie want? What the remasters, also the reveals, the ES6. And there is a part of me that is like, Todd is just a creature of habit. And every interview I get from him, he just seems to be like, we'll let you know when it's ready. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not getting that indicator any otherwise. He seems to be keeping that close to vest. So the only thing that I'm hoping for is if we're going to get that New Vegas and Fallout 3 remaster, this is the potential time to do it. So I think that's potentially what could be, their single player game to satiate the core people who do not care about the live servicey stuff. And I think that's the best we'll get, because in conjunction with the show, here's the Fallout, and obviously there's rumors of, people working on projects and things like that. So I think that's what I'm going for. I'm like some form of a remaster hopefully, should be announced. And then there you go, boom. The normal subject, the normal subjects with the 76 and the ESO. That's the best I can do right now with Bethesda, man.
Okay. Rand, do you have any Bethesda-wide predictions?
I'm gonna disappoint both you guys because outside of 76 and Elder Scrolls, there's gonna be nothing from them. Like no Fallout remaster, no Elder Scrolls 6 or whatever. I don't think so. That's where I'm put. But I'd love for Maddie's thing to be true. That'd be a nice game. That'd be a big, massive thing.
Oh yeah,
to end it on. That's what 8 years in the making. Essentially, last trailer.
You got to imagine that. I mean, if I'm picking a Hail Mary, I think that's the safest one because it's there. It needs an update. I think doing a Hail Mary for like a New Vegas remake or New Vegas 2 is way too far off and way too unclear. This is at least clear. Like, again, this is something that will ship. Like, nothing is going to stop it. I mean, obviously, that's not going to please people who just want a release date, but something I think would help. So we'll see. We'll see. I'm pulling for Bethesda here, though.
We're varying wildly.
Yeah, we're all each other. Each other. Yeah, I like this.
We're very much on the same page, if I remember correctly. So this is a bit different. This one is a guarantee. It's Coalition, who's up next. Of course, we know Gears of War E-Day will be there. It's the confirmed post-showcase developer direct title. However, the question is what we see. Rand, I'd like to start with you. What will we see from Gears of War E-Day here? Do we get the full suite? If we see the
get
campaign,
the whole smorgasbord. I think we get a nice look at the single player. I think we even get a nice look at co-op modes and multiplayer and stuff because these things are like 30 minutes long usually.
Yeah.
Unless they plan on doing like, we'll talk about multiplayer at like a later event. Because I think they did that with Black Ops 6, didn't they? Where initially it was all about the campaign and kind of like the movement and stuff, and they saved the multiplayer stuff for later. But I think they'll kind of dive into everything, and it'll end with the release date, which I'm targeting for sometime in September. Like if I just look at the calendar, what we got here, September, I'm going to say Wolverine's the 15th, right? I'm going to say Gears is September 3rd.
Ooh. Yeah, I think it's early too.
Yeah. It's either, I don't know. I feel like it's either very early September or late September, but I'm going to go early.
Nice. I like this. Yeah, man. Coalition in the building. They got the championship spot, the direct focus, ready to show out, man. Like I cannot wait to see, where they take E-Day, how dark, how gritty they take it. Obviously early Marcus and Dom, the big reveal. I think we will get an idea of some of the modes. I think we will get an idea of multiplayer. Question's going to be platforms and how they handle. This will be part of the overarching Asha theme, how they handle if there's going to be a logo or not, right? That'll be big. But this is a big pressure. And they seem confident. They seem really confident. So if you look at Coalition socials, it's like, what is it? Red is like, get ready to turn the F up or whatever. They popping it. So I'm like, they're going to be there. The question is going to be the release date. And it's this year. But the only question I have is when we get to Playground is what's the proximity, because to me, Playground is important as well, what they got going on. And then obviously we know the elephants in the room with GTA and other stuff like that. So that's going to be the question, is it the September release that Rand says, hey, I take, or do they pull, which I think I alluded to Maddie one Duke earlier, like, do they pull like, December, it's fine. This is, we get more time and we get that month to ourselves. The key is going to be the strategy of the drop, but they're ready to turn up. And like I said in previous Dukes also, from a core gameplay standpoint, I would love to know the refinements. Do we take a little bit of high busters? Do we get some class, some individuality, some new things to the formula that it's not just mundane Gears? We got to do something new, something fresh. And I want to know what E-Day does. I think they got the tone and the vibe right. I just want to know the core gameplay. How much do they change? And the fact that it's 30 minutes, to me, or at least is it 30, Rand?
I mean, they're typically 30 minutes.
They're typically 30.
Yeah,
The fact that they've got a whole slot, they've got stuff to talk about. You know what I'm saying? So
I have to imagine,
yeah, I'm excited. So yeah, that's what I'm going with right now. I'm still staying with my December for now because I'm being conservative. I want to be wrong though. Just be clear. I want to be wrong. I want Gears earlier than that. So if Rand hits me with the September, I'm like, yes, Rand, you're right. Yes.
Yeah. I'm going September because they did have that wrestling leak. There was a wrestling promo leak, and usually when wrestling is promoting something, it's like out that month. Like that kind of short burst marketing. So I feel like that's going to lock it in for September. But here's the
good call out.
Here's the golden question though, right? Because like we've seen some of these developer directs, they always have a little surprise, a little something unexpected, whether it's like last year where like we thought we were just getting Outer Worlds 2 and then here's Grounded 2, right? And I was like, oh, cool. When I say the full suite, is all of Gears E-Day built under a single house? Or do they take a more Halo Infinite approach and break it into pieces where like Halo had its campaign, it had some multiplayer, free to play? Do you think that they establish Gears E-Day as like you pay to get into the complete package, or do they spread, like, do they kind of break out the multiplayer stuff, the Horde stuff into a different, I wouldn't say game, but it's like, again, that kind of standalone application?
Interesting. I think it'll just be part of one package. I don't think they'll split it out and be like, hey, the multiplayer is free or whatever, and it's by itself. I think it'll be one thing.
Yeah. Okay. All 5 people running around shotgun and ain't going off. I gotta slay the young Gears multiplayer guys. You gotta get a single player guys in at day one. You know what I mean? So we can get the user base up. No, I'm just joking. But seriously though, I do want to see what they do with the multiplayer, and if I get my beloved Horde mode, I would love that.
Okay, well, at least we know that one will be there. This next one, my favorite, Compulsion Games, COG. Will they be at the showcase?
I'm going to go with a resounding no. I don't know. You know, obviously the last thing, obviously they did the multi-platform release, which I was very happy for them. You know what I'm saying? At least get South and Midnight. Because like I said, we all felt the potential of the game and the heart of the game, but it was just bare bones from a combat standpoint, and they needed to really take that to the next level. But I would love to see, you know, Hazel in the future, and I just like the fact that Switch got their release and PlayStation got their release, so at least they can try to get some money on the back end. But yeah, I don't think, I would be shocked if they're ready to go already. So I'm going to say no.
Rand, what about you?
Short and sweet, no. I don't.
Yeah. I don't have much to add other than that. Yeah, no. And I just hope that when they come around, it's not as long of a wait for their next experience. I'll be curious to know what they're working on next. Like, I don't know if it's going to be like, you know, building off of South of Midnight, which I think would be very cool. I don't know if it's going to be something brand new. You know, I just go back to We Happy Few. Fuck it, why not?
That too.
God, dude, the intro to that game sells you a completely different experience. Sure, I like We Happy Few, but like, man, that opening was like, you are off your joy. Like, iconic, bro. Like, I always remember that moment, being like, wait, this is the next BioShock, and then you get a procedurally generated open world. Like, so close. That's what I was hoping they would go for again. Is like, okay, let's do We Happy Few, but this time for real. So we'll see what they do next. I'm looking forward to it, but. Here's up next a studio that we've seen quite a bit from. We've heard of Double Fine very recently. We got Keeper. We just got Kiln like a month ago. Both smaller games that haven't made much noise at all, flying very assuredly under the radar. I'm wondering if they've just kind of split off their forces and they're just working on all these little things, or they're still kind of cooking away on their next big game, like a Psychonauts 2 style experience where it's like, oh, this is where a lot of time and energy was gone into, or like the Brutal Legend, that sort of stuff, like where this is not that those experiences aren't full, but they're more little things. Like Kiln was never meant to be huge. Keeper was a very, you know, I think they even said it themselves, like very weird, artsy kind of project. So COG, do we think we see Schaefer and the crew at the summer showcase?
I just interviewed Schaefer at GDC.
Oh,
yeah, I don't know, man. I'm gonna say no again. They do a lot of smaller experiences, but I don't get the vibe that, you know, especially with Kiln just releasing. You know what I mean? Kind of at this year, I felt like that kind of should be it. But I'll defer to Rand if he's heard anything. But I'm gonna say no right now. I just don't see Double Fine with any other projects that I know about right now ready to go.
I'd agree. I don't think we see them. I don't think they shipped Keeper last year. They just shipped Kiln. The whatever project they're working on next is in no way, shape, or form to probably. I mean, you could do a title card drop, but what's the point? I think Xbox is trying to get further away from showing things 4 or 5 years out. So no, I don't think we hear from them for quite some time. Actually,
I agree.
We may not see them again for like another 3 years.
Yeah, we got Keeper and Kiln in a very short back-to-back window. So yeah, I would agree, Rand, big time.
Okay. Yeah, for Double Fine, I'm not expecting anything at all. I think they've just been shipping too much, and so they're going to keep quiet for this. But I'd like to see whatever their big game is, if there even is a big game. I hope there is. I don't think you can keep releasing these smaller games and just kind of stay afloat. I think they need something that's going to make some level of noise,
right?
Like a Psychonauts 3. That'd be really cool. Psychonauts 2 is legit art. Just saying. Okay, my favorite team. Oh boy,
your boys.
Someone take the mic. Halo Studios, Rand.
Oh man.
In what capacity do we see your favorite first party studio show up?
I mean, who knows if they're my favorite at this point now? I mean, they have to be there, right? Like Halo. I know ever since Infinite, haven't been at a showcase, which is very odd to say, because Xbox and Halo have always been interlinked, and they've moved away from that. But with the game releasing, it seems, judging from the rumors, July, August timeframe.
Yeah.
It's the 25th anniversary of Xbox. It has to show up. And you could even make the argument if Fable doesn't open, you could have Halo open the show. Like what better game to kind of open up? Like it's Xbox 25th anniversary. Boom, Halo 1. I mean, it sort of writes itself almost in a way, but it's too easy. I almost don't want it to happen. But it's almost too easy. I don't want it to happen. You know what I mean? Like it'll be there. They'll show it off. They'll give a release date. As I'm saying this, I sort of wonder, like, Maddie's. I'm going for Blade for my end. Maddie's got Elder Scrolls 6.
Oh.
But I was thinking, if they just wanted to do a title card reveal, what if they end with Halo Next? As a commitment to like the next Halo. I'm just throwing it out there, Maddie. I don't really mean it. I'm just throwing it out there. I don't think it'll happen either.
I love that you're thinking, but we're not going to be open-minded to that. Okay. We are going to. We cannot end it with Halo Next. That is the most like anticlimactic, just like incoming disappointment. Like just y'all got Halo Day for that.
You're not pumped?
No. I'd be so angry, bro. I'd be so.
What would be worse, them ending on Call of Duty or them ending on the Call of or Halo Next?
Okay, I would take Halo over COD.
Okay. Damn. Okay, that Call of Duty hate strong.
No, it's just like actually really not. Like just Halo, like Call of Duty. I'm just like quality, right? Like slice of New York City pizza for $1. You take a bite, like what you're getting out of that. It's really good shit. At times, sometimes you go to like the fucking dusty joint and you get like $1 pizza. It's a coin toss, right? But it's known quantity. Halo, lesser known, unproven quantity. So there's just keep it to yourself for now. Is my take. But Rand, I totally interjected, so I apologize.
I love
it. That's fine. I was done anyways.
Well, actually, I want to ask you one other thing because then we'll loop to COG. What about Project Ecker? Reb's Gaming doing the Lord's work in the Halo universe, keeping me feel insane for just not being a Halo Studios fan at this moment in time. Project Ecker is reportedly this extraction shooter. It started off as Tatanka, which was like a battle royale game, and then as of 2023, that's when they converted over to extraction shooter. Do we think, because again, Halo campaign involves not launching with multiplayer, do we see this certain affinity collaborative multiplayer project appear at the showcase as sort of like, here's the other part of your Halo suite. Like you're going to get the campaign, but for free to play to everybody, here's the next Halo multiplayer experience. Because at the same time, what's weird, I'll just throw in this in here. Infinite getting a random big update like a month ago, I'm just like, okay, like I don't know anymore. I don't know. Like I thought everyone was off of slip space. Like I thought it was done for. So I'm curious what your take is on this, Rand.
Well, I mean, who even knows if this extraction game even comes out? I mean, we all thought like the battle royale thing was going to be finally, but that didn't even make it. And are extraction shooters the next big thing? Judging from Ark, yes, but then judging from Marathon, not really. I'm going to say no. I don't think we see that game. I think they're just going to strictly focus on Halo Combat Evolved. So yeah. I don't even know. Like, I'm trying to even picture in my head what a Halo extraction shooter even looks like.
I know.
Yeah, I can imagine the battle royale so perfectly. I'm like, yeah, this works. This makes sense. But extraction shooter, I'm like, I don't know, dude. I really don't know. It just felt like a little. I don't want to judge it before I see it. Sounds a little trend chasey to me. That's all I'm saying. You know.
Yeah, no, I get it. I think for me, this is just more so about the Xbox 25th anniversary and getting Halo out there, getting the vibes, getting the feel. You know, obviously shout out to Rebs Gaming. He's been doing great reporting on this and stuff like that as far as the engine and what they've been using. They're definitely going to be here. The question just comes down to how much more they're going to show in addition to Campaign Evolved. And I would have to lean towards Ecker as kind of like, the vibe I'm getting is something that was discussed, but that still may not even come to fruition. So I would be shocked to see anything or any representation of that here. Then it comes down to kind of what Rand teased, which is the future of what Halo Studios is doing. And I think Rand is convincing me a little. There may be a chance. There may be a chance that they may say.
I didn't even convince myself. So, like,
fair enough. But I'll go off of your assertion that you know that what if they did something like that? There's a possibility, you know, because again, they've been idle. And remember, it is the 25th. They've got the feels going on. There is a chance they could say, we're working, again, title card kind of energy. We're working on the next iteration, the next version of Halo. And, you know, we get some form of a splash screen or something, or a name or something like that. I'll leave it there. As far as the multiplayer, I'm going to say no for right now because that seems to be so much in shambles.
It would be the most Phil-ass move, bro. I'm blaming him if this shit shows up. Like, Halo next. I'm like, yeah, I'm a curse Phil. I'm a Phil. I'm just gonna let loose on stream. All right. For me, my predictions lie with Halo Studios as obviously, yeah, Halo Campaign Evolved. I'm still processing the idea of this coming out in July. I'm like, interesting. Like, much sooner than we expected. Cog and I were always debating, like, do you do the anniversary date or earlier? Like, we just thought November for sure. It's got to be.
Until GTA was like, nope.
Yeah. But then when you see July, it's like, oh, this shit might have been ready way sooner than we expected. Like that was never part of the plan because that's like significantly ahead of where Cog and I were at mentally. So yeah, Campaign Evolved will be there because the thing that, I mean, we know so much because of the leaks, again, thanks to Rebs Gaming, Jez's work, but we really haven't seen like the new content they're adding, like the prequel missions and sort of what they're creating as a combined package. Like we know it's like, okay, the game that we've seen re-released 4 times now, sure, like I'm down. But the new stuff, they haven't really detailed it. I think that's what they'll detail here. As for Ecker, go back and forth on this one a bit. I feel like it could be the, you know, I want to call it a side dish, but it could be like a part of the meal. Like, you know, for the multiplayer fans, like we have this for you. But I'm leaning no because I think it overshadows. If it's great looking, which I'm hoping it would be, you know, I bash Halo Studios a lot. I think they make good multiplayer. Like I will say that. Even when it was 5 and we were down on our dog days, it was really sweaty. Still felt good. Still fun. Good. Yeah, like I'm not going to hate on that. Mm-hmm. So, you know, a multiplayer exclusive title, I'm like, all right, yeah, like let's see what you guys got. It's actually between the two right now. Like Halo Campaign Evolved or Combat Evolved is like one of my favorite games in that franchise. But, you know, it's like Ecker really has my interest. Even it's like, I'm trying to find out how much I really hate extraction shooters. You know, like Arc Raiders didn't grab me, Marathon didn't grab me, but I love Halo. Can you pull me into something if you really Haloify it? And like we said earlier, I don't know what that ends up being like, but I'll keep an open mind. I just think, though, this would risk overshadowing Campaign Evolved, and that given there's like Halo championships and events later in the year, maybe save it for then, you know, instead of pulling the trigger on it here and let Campaign Evolved do its thing, assuming. Let's open the debate real quick on this because there have been conversations online. do they pull the trigger on pulling out Halo from PlayStation? Because I do feel like it's so close you can if it's coming out in July. But it's also one of those situations where Halo going to PlayStation does communicate something very strongly. And I'm just wondering where you guys are at on that debate at all. Do they delay it so that they can pull it off of PlayStation? Does it matter that much? Is that a little extra? I don't know, but let's go around the horn again. Rand, I'm curious as to your thoughts on Campaign Evolved. Did they stick with?
I mean, there
PlayStation?
definitely would be people who would love the fact that like they pull it during the show, and by the way, it's only releasing for Xbox, not releasing on other console platforms. Yeah. People would love that, right? Yeah. Like, oh, we're pulling Halo and Gears, so
yeah.
And I mean, they could make the argument previous administration, we're going in a different way, stuff like that you would understand. But I think they'll probably end up, I think Xbox is very much, they're looking for like positive feedback from all sectors and all audiences, not just their own community. And I really think if you pulled that from Halo, like I'm imagining the articles being written by like certain websites and stuff where you get angry, because I feel like with Xbox going multi-platform, there was a sense of like, okay, well, we won. Like there's a lot of journalists who only play on PlayStation who kind of wouldn't care if Xbox died. And they're out there telling you how you should feel or how Xbox fans should feel when they don't even step one foot on the platform and don't even know what the platform offers or whatever, right? And I feel like they would. Oh, we're not getting Xbox games. I feel like they would. There would be like a witch hunt almost. But I don't think they'll pull it. I think they're gonna. Their commitment's gonna be there. I do agree with Jez though.
What's up?
That this is the only Halo that will go to PlayStation.
Oh,
the other ones will not. That is like, this is kind of like, you need to eat this one, but moving forward, it's not gonna be anywhere else. Sort of thing.
Yeah, I mean, certainly PlayStation's done that with like Spider-Man and whatnot. Like, Spider-Man 3 or Venom or whatever, that's going to be confined to their platform, no doubt. But they did flirt with putting it on PC. And it's like,
right.
I guess the reality is maybe we can see these companies put these genies back in the lamp, like we said they couldn't. So I guess maybe Xbox is a little lucky that it's not like the next mainline Halo, but more like it's a remake of a game that's been released a ton of times. And, like we've been there before. Cog, to you, my friend.
Yes.
Do they rip that PlayStation logo straight off the fucking cover? And, do we see Asha burning the copies live on stream? What is the status of Halo on PlayStation?
Yeah, I think we're too far along. And I don't think it has anything necessarily to do with her decision making. I just felt that, the Halo director and those guys came out with PlayStation shirts the moment, that they were ready to announce that it was coming. So, same thing as Fable. I look at Fable and you see these social media accounts, Playground saying, yep, still coming, this, that kind of thing. So, yeah, even though it may be something that she may want to do, and to Rand and Jess's point, subsequent Halos, that may change based on in the Asha regime. But I just think that her jumping in right now, it would be too much of a media black eye to deal with because you've already kind of promised it. And I know the console warriors would love this. I know, as Red would say, they would love for her to come on stage and
would be so entertaining, though. I almost wish she would do it just so I could see the articles and see the people flip out. Like it'd be tasty.
The no soup for you, Asha, would be hilarious. I'm not gonna lie. Like, it would be entertaining. We'd have content for days. Don't get me wrong. But I just think the public relations would just be too much for them to deal with after the promise, and it's probably not worth it. And to your point, they're like, oh, we gave you, like Maddie said, we gave you this legacy title. This was a one-off. Knock yourself out. And then from there, moving forward, if exclusivity is truly on the table, this is what they do. So that's where I'm at with it right now.
Okay. Yeah, when it comes to Halo on PlayStation, I think it's just too late in the process. I agree completely. Just too late. I think here's my little nuance on it though. I think they would if it wasn't so far along, I think they would pull. I think they would be like, let's not like, but I don't think Microsoft's in the business of eating that cost, even if it's like it could be considered an optical error. Right. Also, I think the physical copies were printed. Like I feel like I saw, and that's the thing you can't undo. That's just out there. I mean, you could turn it into a collectible item, but I don't think you can. Once the physical is printed, I don't think you can.
Yeah, the development cycle. That's how I feel. I feel like that thing's got to be so far in development at this point. Like, I'll be shocked.
Well, let's get into a fun one here. Kind of. I'm sorry. No, I'm one studio ahead. Let's get into one that's pretty easy, and then we'll get into the fun one. id Software. This is developers of Doom. Just came up with Doom: The Dark Ages last year, working on DLC for it. Do we see them appear at this showcase? Cog, let's start with you.
I don't know. I'm leaning no. I mean, we heard anything about Quake these days? What's going on with them?
I mean, that's got to be up next for them. I think it's just going to be a while.
Yeah,
I mean, I just feel like Doom: The Dark Ages, like they were just out of ideas. Like it's a great game, but it's just they were kind of done. You know,
the only thing I can think of is unless they have, I don't know what the pipeline is with Dark Ages. If they're going to do like DLC or extended content.
That's why my thing was going to be more.
Mm-hmm. Go for it, Rand.
I think they will, because I think they're going to reveal the DLC here. Because the DLC is supposed to be like almost as big as the main game, right?
Yeah.
Isn't that the whole thing?
Yeah, Hugo Martin said that it's basically a sequel.
Yeah.
So,
I guess you could maybe make the argument they hold it for QuakeCon.
That's fair.
But it's been a year. You could easily have it here, show it off. So I'll go the DLC here, especially if it's like as big as they think.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll say show off the new DLC.
Show off the new DLC, but I think we're in agreement. We all of us no new IP.
No, I don't.
I think that's what we all. Yeah,
mm-hmm.
yeah. I think it's too soon for that.
I agree.
I think id Software will be there though with the DLC. I mean, holding for QuakeCon would make sense, but I don't know if they're calling it basically a sequel. And it's massive. Yeah, maybe they need a little more time because we're just a little bit north of a year from that game coming out. So, Rand's got me thinking.
Yeah, I mean, because QuakeCon's normally August time frame?
Yeah. So it gives them a little bit more time, and then but then you're getting close to the fall holiday season. Are you launching it then, or
maybe
is this
it's
like
not even this year?
Thing?
Maybe it's not. Maybe it's like April next year, right? If it's really a sequel, considering how long it took this one to make, maybe they really need all that extra time.
Yeah,
which then makes you wonder what the timetable is for whatever they're doing next. Which, I mean, I said this to Cog. I want to show. Give Halo to id.
Halo to id. You ready to pass that rock off?
Yeah. I mean, if Halo Studios is just there to kind of oversee projects and kind of let our people work on it, and we're wondering what id's doing next, let it take a stab at Halo. Let's go.
Yeah,
I'd love to see what they could do with it.
Yeah, a lot of people have said it's not really built to make Halo shooters. I'm like, Halo's got enough lore where they could just figure something out and make it work. Also, they make the best shooters in the industry. So it's like, just if they have to evolve the type of shooter they make. I mean, we've seen them make race car shooters, parry shooters, standard shooter, they could do it. And I agree completely. I think it would be a really smart move to get one of your prominent FPS developers on your most prominent FPS franchise. I think it's foolish to let just Halo Studios toil away on it. So I would love nothing more than that. That would be, now, if you want to talk Halo next, you want to talk Halo announcement, want to talk Hail Mary, id Software developing a Halo game would be the Halo announcement I'm there for.
That would be sick. That or any form of a spinoff, just anything, bro. Let somebody else rock out with this universe.
Or Microsoft announces the acquisition of Bungie and they're making the next Halo game.
Oh my God!
All full circle. All full circle. Came back. Sony sells them back to Microsoft, and guess what? We're now on Halo.
The hot stove trade just happened.
All right. Next up here is the fun one I was talking about. One of the favorites here in this crew, InXile, developers of Wasteland, now working on Clockwork Revolution. I'm going to give this one. If you guys don't mind,
you go first.
You gotta go first. You gotta go first on this.
I am giving this an emphatic yes. I think this is a definite. And I think because it kind of stole the show last year, I think they open with this. That is my prediction. I think they open with this and give it a release window. At least the opening 3, but I think this is the opener. I don't know how you show the amount of content this thing is showing and you're not ready for release. In fact, when we saw that kind of Game Pass leak where it's like, oh, it's actually on this list with other upcoming, they're listed as titles coming soon this year, and there's Clockwork, there's kind of like a feeling within the Xbox community, like this might come out this year.
Yeah. I've been seeing that, but I also sort of wonder when. Like what? That's
my problem. GTA is that stick in the mud right now where I don't think you spend this long on this game. Same thing with Fable. I'm like, you don't spend this long on this game and then you just rush it out. At a certain point, you got to be like, we got to just do right by this game. At least I think that would be good business. Now, don't get me wrong. If here comes Fable and here comes InXile with Clockwork and they're coming out around November, fuck you, GTA. I don't give a shit. Like I really don't care. I do not care, bro. It's the same thing Jez was posting about when he was like, who thinks the Witcher 3 DLC is more exciting? GTA? I'm like, me, bro. Like, absolutely, bro.
Like, yep, me.
Yeah. Like, to me, GTA soured. I'll play and I'm sure enjoy, but like GTA soured me from the optics point of view. I'm watching developers do dances and tricks on it. It's like, bro, I don't want like the $80 game debate. I just come out already. Come on. We've all been waiting for you. So yeah, like if InXile wants to pull the trigger on that this year, do they squeeze into September? I don't know how, again, I don't know how you show 7 minutes in a trailer last year and you're like coming in due time. And you got to at least have a window this year, I think, at the bare minimum. But I'm a minor bit of a believer in the idea of a 2026 release, but I think it's just too packed.
Maddie, here's what I heard last year.
I heard grand scoop.
I heard last year that the reason there wasn't a year on the trailer was because they weren't sure it could hit 2026. Which is why I put it as like an early 2027 title, like a March-ish. And that's what I'm sort of sticking to. Because also, like, with GTA kind of clogging up fall, and you have Call of Duty, and you supposedly have Fable, because Fable's rated in a couple places.
Yeah.
And it was also in that coming soon, so it sort of seems like and like Playground's doubled down and being like, it's coming this year. You got Fable and you got Gears. You also, I know this isn't going to do anything for us, but you got Minecraft Dungeons 2 releasing. I know, like, pump to fist, but I'm just saying it's another game they do have. A sequel to a game that had like 30 million players and was widely successful, regardless of however we feel about it, right?
Fix your face, man. Fix your face. Respect.
There's only that's the thing. There's only so much time frame with a whole month being carved out because of Rockstar. And they do need, because when you think about Xbox's 2027, what does that look like? Because if you did have Clockwork this fall, does 2027 look worse now? Because then you sort of looking like, what are we expecting next year? State of Decay 3, Blade.
Right. Come on a journey with me.
Spyro 4. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I sort of feel like Clockwork is, and you know what, Maddie? I sort of feel like it's going to be at the show.
Yeah.
But yeah, I know how you said no, Rand. That feels like a dev direct game to me. I almost sort of feel like, what if Clockwork skipped the show, but was the dev direct game for January because they're releasing soon?
Man, it's always thinking like me, man. Stop thinking.
We do think alike. That's for sure.
I'm gonna invite you on a little journey here.
Okay. All right, let's go to journey. Let's walk with you.
We're in a wild world where Fable gets rated. It gets its release window. 2027. Suddenly a slot has opened up.
Okay.
Here comes my hero, Brian Fargo, on his horseback, riding into the Victorian city of Clockwork Revolution with a 2026 date. Are you a believer now? Could you imagine?
So the switcheroo.
Yeah,
February 27 for Fable and 26 wherever the hell Fable was going to take up that slot. Here comes Clockwork.
I know what the heart wants, but the social media accounts of said Playground Games have been extremely spicy. Every time someone checks them, they be like, "Yeah, see you in autumn. See you." We pulling up. See, and here's the
They've been
platforms.
subtweeted a lot. Yeah, they're like, we're coming out this year.
I've never seen a social media account this aggressive with their release. I'm like, damn. Trust me, Maddie, I'm with you. Know I love it, InXile. You know I love them. And Clockwork is it, but I gotta leave with my boy Ray. Like, I thought about it more and more. I said, okay, can they show at this showcase? Yes, they can, right? But word on the street, last showcase where they debuted, what was it, a 7-minute trailer? That they had to fight for that to get that in there. That was the word on the street. Rand knows that street too. So my thought process is that if they are aligned for 2027 as one of the big showcase games, the big games of 2027, as far as a tentpole, to me, that screams developer direct. The question, what I worry about is, do you put them in this showcase and risk, Maddie, Outer Worlds 2 overexposure energy? You gave us 7 minutes. Now you're going to give us another one and potentially don't come out this year.
Come on a journey with me too, Todd. Here's the thing.
I like this.
Developer direct would be overexposure. Get us another trailer in there, and then we'll see you in the summer for hands-on previews and interviews and all that good stuff. Roll out the marketing beats, and you take your fall slot, and we'll see you there. See you in October.
I feel you, brother, but I just
let me down lightly here.
I just don't see it, man. I mean, would I be upset if they show? Hell no. Love InXile. This is one of the most ambitious, dopest games that we've seen, and it's one of the dopest teams. It just, I don't see how they can get out this year with the what's all the minefields, and you want to have 2027 strong. With my other pick, I already got my 2 getting it. So I don't see that. My pick is, I just don't see them this year. I see them develop it direct, and then we get to rock. But I won't be mad, man. If they pull the Maddie could take a walk with me, come on this ride with me journey thing, hey, I'm with it. You know I love this game.
It
you
is.
know what I'm saying?
I will say it is the coming soon Game Pass thing is interesting because Fable's there.
Everything else there is 2026.
But Gears isn't there. Halo wasn't there. Right? There's like 2026 games that we know were there but aren't in that thing. So it's like, yeah, and you just wonder, like, why would they add that if it like? So there's a part of me that wonders, like, I wonder if they're just going to add all the games that were part of like whatever thing to it, but it's like missing some games from that we know are this year. So I'm going to say I do think it's going to be at the show.
Oh, so two.
I was just kind of going off the hip about the Dev Direct, but I do think it'll be there, and I do think it'll say 2027.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's at the show. That's my prediction. The 27 thing, I'm buying into the Fable 26 release, as we'll talk about a little bit later, just because of how, I mean, God, they've like quadrupled down over and over and over. Like, and I mean, they're not making like announcement beats about it, but it's more like respond to a tweet or their LinkedIn, like, we're not done this year. We're hiring for all these positions. I think
rated, right? I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, it could still probably get delayed. I don't know if that's like a sure 100%
it definitely can. It definitely would suggest, to my knowledge, that a release window of some kind is on the way. I just think it would be very foolish. I mean, again, the communications team isn't in touch with the development team. They don't know. They only know we're coming out this year. So they're going to keep beating that drum. But when you go to hiring and it's like, yeah, we're coming out this year, I don't know if you can really do the bait and switch on that. Like, I think it would look a little foolish, optically speaking. At the same time, it looks like this game might need a little bit extra time in the oven. And that extra time bumps you into GTA. If GTA doesn't exist, this is coming out this year, no doubt about it. We're not even having this conversation. Agreed. The problem is if you back up in the GTA, is it better to just bypass it and go to the other end next year? And then again, Clockwork could be ready sooner. Who knows? Here's the thing. Someone's got to dare to go to December, right?
Right.
Someone's got to dare to be in that month. You don't think so?
Well,
okay.
From what I keep on hearing from people in the industry is that they want to give GTA a month on either side. So a month before and a month after.
There's a blast radius.
Because there's talk and rumors that GTA Online is not launching with the game. It's launching a month later.
Game over.
And that's basically also another game.
A whole other game.
So I sort of feel like this year, November and December are basically good. And December's usually off limits anyways. So, but yeah, I don't really see a lot releasing.
December, Halo, December, Marvel Rivals, December. Hey, you never know.
Yeah,
if GTA Online's coming in December, it's cooked. Like, no one. That like fucks up January too. It's just like no one spends money in January. So now like February, oh boy, this is going to be a crazy stretch of months when we finally get to GTA's release.
Let me. This is kind of a side tangent, although it is a prediction about another show. Really quickly, we're on GTA talk right here.
Let's get
really
it
quickly. The Sony showcase is next week. We're not predicting that, but I want to ask you: is GTA 6 next trailer going to be at PlayStation's State of Play? There's these huge rumors about this thing. It's the biggest PlayStation show ever, according to some people on the internet or whatever. They invited journalists to theater showings. People, we are expecting a new GTA trailer, but I think it's more towards the end of June. But they do have the marketing. I'm curious where you two stand on that. I'm
just laughing because me, an absolute moron, they're inviting him there for PS3 back compat finally. That's their big announcement. I'm just like, yeah, this has to be it. Man, I think GTA can just stand on its own. Where I like the idea, but I think GTA can stand on its own. Where it's like it doesn't really need to be at the State of Play with everything else. It can even go a day after the State of Play and just completely dominate the conversation. Like they could
go before the State of Play and probably dominate.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's just no one's going to care. Like they could just do whatever they want. So I don't think they need anyone's platform. Certainly the hunger for it is like, did you ever see that Reddit theory that like it was like studying the stars and like different star systems and how the stars align and then connecting it to when Take-Two was making like quarterly earnings announcements and then connected that to like trailer dates and like tried to narrow down the window in which we would on a cosmic level get GTA news. Like
no, I've not heard that before.
The level of crazy we're dealing with here. So it's like I think this game doesn't need any platform. It just needs its own. Just drop the trailer. They could put this trailer on a screen in like a Walmart. Remember like in Walmart they had those kiosks where you'd like look up at your like TV and it would have like the latest PS2 games or Xbox games and whatnot. They could put it on one of those and someone would film it, put it on YouTube, and they would just be like viral. So I think they just do it on their own. I'm thinking, because they said marketing starts in the summer. I'm actually thinking it might be like July. Like I'm going July, and they really start to like build up from there. I think they're just going to let this thing build to a fever pitch until they know absolutely 1,000% for sure. Like this is good to go.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's my read of it though, but I'd be curious what Cog thinks.
Yeah, not bad. I think you're cooking. I guess what really swayed my decision is Asha Sharma. Because if we recently saw Red, when it came to GTA 6, she put out the tweet as far as promotion of
the wish list,
of the wish list coming to Xbox. I thought that was interesting because to me, it's pointed. It's like you don't have to necessarily do that. It's a reminder that it's coming to your platform.
So you think it's like an early warning shot, like a preemptive strike?
Well, I spoke to King and he's got all type of wild theories because of that.
I'm sure he does.
He does. But I will give him, it is interesting that she felt the need to retweet that, considering the fact the consensus was that, yes, GTA's 6 marketing rights is going to be with PlayStation. So I'm leaning more towards Maddie's point, though, that GTA is so big, they could just do whatever they want and they will control the narrative. And it's just a matter of, okay, you could promote it as well that it's coming, but we're going to let you know in the trailer. And we're bigger than the industry. We're GTA 6. I'm getting that, big Strauss energy. You know what I'm saying? So that's where I'm leaning with right now. So what's the street saying though, Red? I
don't know. I'm just saying, like, I see a lot of people saying that. I agree with both of you. I think GTA can do whatever it wants. It's bigger. It's
too big.
It's bigger. But I sort of wonder, like, is there some clause in the marketing deal with them where it's like, you got to be at one of our showcases? Because that would draw eyeballs.
That would draw eyeballs.
Well, I mean, I guess maybe you could say, well, there'll be a State of Play in September and maybe they could have something there for that.
Yeah.
But I think I think you'll wake up one day, the trailer will be on YouTube and the trailer will be on Twitter.
Yeah.
And it'll just be pandemonium,
Yeah, completely. Like just must see TV, that sort of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, that's InXile. Good talk there. Let's take a look at MachineGames now. They just dropped indie. They did some indie DLC. It was reported at the top of this year, Wolfenstein 3 is up next for them, which I'm very excited about.
Wolfenstein TV show as well coming.
Yes, that too. So, gentlemen, I'm curious what we're thinking because they're in that awkward pocket. It's been a couple of years. They also seem to move fast. I remember when we first heard about Indiana Jones and they released it, I was like, wow, this kind of came around quickly. Like they're a really good team at MachineGames. But at the same time, and they also have a lot of Wolfenstein assets they can maybe reuse to build that third entry. So there's a lot of pieces here that could make this thing come together quickly. The question is, do they show up this summer to talk about anything? Cog, I'd like to hear from you first. With MachineGames, do they make a grand old appearance?
It's time. It's time.
Oh,
It's time. It's got to be. I could be a little early, but I'm gonna go for it. I'll go for it. I think it's time. Like you said, indie's on the downswing as far as like I feel like content cycle. You got our DLC, and then they did the releases for Switch, right? So they to me, I'm like they've wrapped up. As far as the indie cycle. So it's like, okay, what's next? And I think it's okay to be like, yo, here's the cinematic trailer, vertical slice of Wolfenstein, our next thing. We know that they've been working on it. And I'm gonna go for it. I'm gonna say MachineGames, your time to see you.
Okay. Rand, do you think it's time?
Now, my analytical brain would say no, that it's too soon. That Indiana Jones is only like a year and a half old, and it's too early to start talking about Wolfenstein 3. But you know what? The heart wants what the heart wants.
Uh-oh.
And I gotta go in with Cog here and say there will be a Wolfenstein 3 trailer.
Wolfenstein!
Because I do think like the Wolfensteins, it already was a big franchise.
Yeah.
But with the potential of the Prime show, and considering when we've seen what it did for Fallout, I wonder if they put more muscle behind it or want it out there more.
Yeah.
But I this one's probably going to end up being no, but I'm going to say it's there. We deserve it, Maddie. We've been waiting forever.
Yeah, it's been a minute, and I always remember Pete Hines saying there will definitely be a Wolfenstein 3, and then they just did everything but that. They did like Youngblood, not good, but they also did Indie, which I loved, and Indie was fantastic. And it's like, well,
oh my God,
yeah, I was like, I don't know if you need to go back to Wolfenstein now because you kind of found a new home here, and then we get that report that Wolfenstein 3 is up next. I'm like, okay, I'm totally down for that. I'd love for them to bounce between these two. Especially because it feels like they have at least one more indie game in them, and indie seems to have found an audience despite like how it was released, where it was Xbox exclusive. It was during like a weird transition time for Xbox, but it seemed to do well on PlayStation. It did decent on Steam. So I think though overall, like the transition between indie to Wolf 3, I think it's just too soon. I'm gonna be the guy who says no.
Oh, you're gonna be conservative. Look at you.
Yeah,
look at you being conservative now.
Yeah. He just doesn't want to get hurt again.
You don't want to get hurt.
Yeah.
I've put Wolfenstein 3 on so many lists before. They were like, here's because I was like, oh, indie is like so far out. Wolfenstein 3, they're quietly working on. It'll be here, but I just like. Sometimes I don't know. This team is so unpredictable to me because again, when Indie was revealed, it was just like that hat and it was like a CG trailer. I was like, yeah, we'll see you in like 2027, dude. Thank you, but like this should be interesting nonetheless. But it just shows up. It's like, yeah, we're coming out at the end of 24, and like that developer direct, and we were like, Cog and I were going like, yo, this is like best game of that show. That was really good.
One of the
really
best
memorable
of that year.
I remember it was that. That was the Hellblade 2 year. As soon as I saw that, I saw that's the real game of the year for them. I would trade Hellblade so quick when I saw Indiana Jones. I ain't gonna hold you.
I tried to give Hellblade a shot, but
yeah, I was like, that's the game right there.
And it does feel like at least that they will take advantage of the fact that there might be a game out alongside the release of the TV show, unlike with Fallout, in a way.
Thank you, Rand. He just had to.
He just had to.
I mean,
I had to remind me how incompetent Bethesda is with all their other TV properties and synchronizing them with great content beats. And here comes if Wolfenstein. Yeah, I'll put it this way, Rand. If Wolfenstein has its shit together and it gets like a game with its TV show, oh man. You guys have not seen me rant before, but I'm not level. But oh man, if I'm like we're really gonna get our act together, like Wolfenstein's amazing. But it's like if we didn't get our act together for Fallout, it's like you guys are just I don't know what. Like I don't know what's going on in there. So let's hope that doesn't happen.
You brought up Indiana Jones.
Let's punish the Wolfenstein fans here.
You brought up Indiana Jones, and so I have a quick question for you because I know you've been playing 007. I haven't played it yet. I bought it, haven't started it yet. I was going to start playing it tonight, but
just started.
Playing through 007 with it being third person, I've seen people suggest that, I really wish Indiana was third person. Do you kind of also subscribe to be like, maybe I do wish Indiana was third person and not first person? Has it changed? Like 007 changed your mind on that at all?
Not at all.
No?
Oh.
Okay.
I think actually it's funny. Some of the older 007 games do that really great mix of like first and third person stuff. I feel like that could be a good compromise. Like that's what they did with like the rope when you'd like, swing between like gaps and whatnot. I thought that worked fine too in Indy. But no, I think especially because Indy's camera really like serves its gameplay super well. Like it's built around this kind of immersive sim style gameplay, not like heavy immersive sim, but it's got these elements of sort of like being Indy, investigating, touching items in the environment, solving puzzles, like that really great stuff. And I feel like if you go third person, it just loses all of that. So I don't know, like 007, it's funny. 007 also works really well in first person too, because you get to see like the Q watch, like all the little gadgets you pull out. So I think that would be kind of sick if they tried first person again, but obviously they have two totally different approaches. But yeah, I remember that being a really big debate, and I was always trying to put water on that fire. I was like, I think you should probably want Machine Games to stick with what they're good at, which is first person games. And I think Indiana Jones showed that, in my opinion, at least.
I agree 100%. Yeah, I think keep the spirit of what Indiana Jones is. That's what made it unique. And trust me, in the beginning I was like, damn, I would like the third person. Why did they make this decision? But then when I played it, I'm like, it's so distinct to that mode. It's the essence of it. So yeah, I'm good with it. And 007, again, I just got it today. Wow, it's amazing. But I like each for what they do.
Yeah. And now it's like I do want Wolfenstein 3, but I also want Indiana Jones 2, Maddie. And with games taking how long they make, I'm like, am I going to be sitting here for like 8 years? However long it takes them to make Wolf 3, and then however long it would take to make Indiana Jones 2. It's like, oh my God.
I think they'll be a little quicker because they got caught up in that stupid shit Bethesda was doing with like Save Player One while making a bunch of live products. Part of that rollout was Youngblood, which, you could tell they were just not in their comfort zone. Indie came along and showed that they're just much better at that. And so I feel like now they're just focusing on those types of games, unless like Wolfenstein 3 is some like co-op shooter, building off of Youngblood, and we had no idea. But I feel like because these are similar style games, I'm sure there's stuff they can lean into with Indiana Jones to help build Wolfenstein quicker. So I think it won't be as long of a wait. That's my prediction. I don't think it'll be at the showcase, but I don't think we'll be waiting like years and years and years to see what they're doing next. It seems like they have things pretty well organized there from my read.
No doubt.
Let's go to Mojang.
Ooh.
Minecraft. Do the builders get what they want? Cog, I'll start with you.
Absolutely.
Okay.
They're gonna be there. Yeah, dungeons and whatever they got going on. Too big a franchise. This is the moneymaker. This is the one that we don't care about as the hardcore game necessarily. Yeah. But it's the moneymaker. They have to, have some presence there. So Mojang will be in the building. Just keep it brief. Keep it brief for me, selfishly for my own reasons.
I mean, technically it's 11.
Yeah.
I mean, like Minecraft itself won't be there because Minecraft never is.
Yes. Correct.
But yeah, correct. Minecraft Dungeons 2 will be there for sure.
I agree.
Absolutely. I agree.
Good for the kids. Yeah. Great for my pee break. It's perfect.
Yep.
It's perfect.
Yeah. Well, there's no Forza this year. So
I know you got it out. You got Forza out the way.
This is why this showcase can bang for me, dude. Like,
he completely avoided it too. It was like at the Japan show where he's probably sleeping. He didn't have to.
Oh yeah, I wasn't getting up for that. No, I respect Xbox for putting it in Japan and doing the whole synergy thing that we always ask them to do. But I was not getting up to watch grown men drive cars. You will not be there.
I think I know Maddie's alternate ego is. He's Bowie Knife 99.
Oh yeah, you see that car going crazy? Yeah, that's bad. That's bad.
I've never seen anything Xbox related. I've never seen anything Xbox related go that viral before.
Yes, that is our man.
Funny. Yeah, I mean, do you guys? I guess on that note, do you think? Because we'll talk Playground in a little bit. Well, I'll save it. I was about to ask about Forza, but we'll save that. We'll save that. Yeah, Mojang will be there. Let's go into a fun one here. Ninja Theory.
Ooh.
You want to talk about a team that took a while to cook? Like we were talking about MachineGames. Ninja Theory took a while to make Hellblade 2. And then we learned suddenly Project Mara isn't a game now. It's just like a research project for them. So we thought, even though I found an Xbox Wire post that did refer to it as a game. But it looks like, I think Jez, you might be able to remind us of this, Rand, but I think Jez reported Hellblade 3. And it was more combat driven.
Something like that.
More traditional game. Or
like it's a more traditional game. I don't know if he said it's Hellblade 3, but it's a more traditional something. Yeah.
Okay. So with that being said, Rand, do you think we see Ninja Theory here? The port is done for Hellblade 2. Do we see them kind of announce what's up next, or do they continue to spend years on whatever it might be?
I don't think we see them. Yeah, I don't think so. I mean, I would like to. I like the studio. I like their games, but I'll save you for this one, Maddie, because I know how much you despised Hellblade 2. So I don't think you see anything from them.
This showcase is lining up, man. Showcase is
lit for you. Lit.
Just get everyone out of here, bro. Like this could be my year. This could be the year I show up and was like, all Maddie. Oh man, no cars, no cinematic walking. Oh man, Xbox
but you're still gonna get Fallout 76 though. So
yeah, true. The Force will balance things a little bit. But hey, maybe it's a great 76 update. Who knows? I'm trolling a little too much here. Everyone's gonna think I hate everything. But COG, Ninja Theory.
No ninjas will be present. Sorry, Ninja Theory. Nah, I don't see it. Yeah, they got to cook up, and I don't see what's going on. And from what we understand, Mara is not even a thing anymore, Rand, right?
Your guess is as good as mine.
Yeah,
they said it. I forgot if it was a reporter if they said it, but it's not like their next game or whatever. It's not like a game. It was like a research thing.
Yeah.
Which sucks because them working on a horror game sounds like a perfect fit.
I agree.
It's like a very good fit. It would be very silly for them to never do that because I think they would be great at it. But the way they do these audio driven stories, it's like, dude, that's like 90% of what gets horror scary. Yeah. Like that's really like you can mute anything in horror. It's like, all right, whatever. But like sound, and they do sound so well and visual so well. I think that they'd be foolish to not do any type of horror game, especially in this horror renaissance.
Oh, so, yeah. I agree.
Yeah. Unfortunately, not a game, though, from what we understand. I am with you guys on your prediction. I don't think Ninja Theory is here. They can take their time on whatever it is they may be making, but I don't think they make an appearance this soon after they released Hellblade 2, which took them quite a while. But I am excited based on Jez's reports that they're looking more traditional game. I think that's good news. All right, this is a fun one because we saw this team a lot these last few years. They have carried Xbox on their back some years. They have just been producing and producing and producing. Last year, they put out 3 games: Avowed, Grounded 2, Outer Worlds 2. COG, I look at you, my friend, the biggest supporter of the Black Rock himself. Does Obsidian step outside onto that Xbox showcase stage and make any sorts of reveals?
The Black Rock, crazy year last year, right? Like you said, 3. Mm-hmm. This is tough because on one side, one part of my brain is like, they've shot their load, they've expended themselves, they've done everything. There's nothing else to do. You need to go away. You're taking a break, work on incubate what you've been working on. Then there's another part of me that's like, Grounded too, maybe we get some information on that. And then there's another part of me that's like, I feel like the Black Rock just don't stop. No. You don't go from being the lunch pail hard worker to all of a sudden you just chilling and you taking a break. So it's not that they're not taking a break, but I do think, this is my guess, my long shot. we get some form of a title called a vertical slice of a future project.
Like the Tim Kaine game that he came back for?
Tim Kaine, what's our boy that we interviewed from Pentiment? What am I? Yes. Yeah. Sawyer also, Pillars. There's been a lot of incubation, a lot of talk. There's something they got going. And I think just to remind you, I know Playground looking like we're about to get to the playground, no, but just to remember who the person that puts on that lunch pail, puts on that cap, goes to work every day, reliable.
So sweaty hard worker.
Yeah, you need an old reliable, a person you always count on. That's Obsidian, man. So I say they're there in some capacity. Even I might even throw in a little DLC on top of that for one of the games. Maybe a little Outer Worlds 2 DLC, yo. You're fronting on us. Last year's rollout was, a little spicy. Yeah. We got some cool new, like a Murder at Eridanos kind of moment. Remember how that transformed the game? Like, yeah, man. I'm saying, don't front on my boys, man. I ain't giving up on them this year. They still got more to talk.
I'll just tack on because you kind of took part of my thoughts, so I wanna expound upon that a bit. I think they'll be there. I don't know. I think they'll be like in the update territory. If they have something new, like if they do reveal that Tim Kaine game, I'll be very excited to learn what that is. But in the terms of them like actually showing stuff off, I'm thinking DLC territory. I'm thinking Grounded 2, but really where my brain went to was, an Outer Worlds 2 expansion. They said they're doing 2 of those.
Yes.
And we're approaching summer this year. The game came out, what was it? Late October last year. Seems like enough time. And I'm very excited to see what they do with it because I mean, to me, the weakest part of Outer Worlds 2 is the second half. And it is my hope that they are doing exactly what they did with Outer Worlds 1, which is what are our weak points, laser focus them, and make the complete package better. If they can do that with their expansions, I will not shut up about this game because I think Outer Worlds 2 is just some character short of being truly awesome, truly great. It's got some flaws though, but I mean, the shooting, the looting, the exploration, I mean, it really satiated me a bit. Between that and KCD2, I was like, okay, like we needed those, right? When I'm getting things like the Fallout 4 Anniversary Edition, it's like, okay, at least I got, good Bethesda style stuff in the tuck here. So I'm thinking Outer Worlds 2 expansion is the main thing I'm looking for here. Otherwise, anything beyond that, beyond Grounded 2, of course, that would be a pleasant surprise. But Rand, are you here to bring us down to earth?
I'm thinking it's just going to be Grounded 2. Like a Grounded 2 1.0 or something Grounded 2
Maddie gets to have no fun.
Hey, I mean, maybe they do a DLC segment like they did with, it's like, here's Doom and here's Outer Worlds 2. And
yeah, we're kind of sizing up a lot of DLC this show, aren't we?
Yeah, there's a couple things, but
you guys worried about that? When I start to look at it, I'm like, I got DLC for this, that, because think of it, we marked so far before we get into other predictions, 76.
Yep.
ESO.
Yep.
id.
Grounded.
These will probably be there.
Really?
Outer Worlds. That's 6. Hold on, let me look at my list here. That's not including Blizzard. Overwatch update, throw that in there. So that's 7. Do we have any worries about this being a lot of DLC?
Not too. I see where you're going with it.
Forza Horizon, maybe.
Nah, there's not going to be any Forza Horizon stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, too soon. Too soon. I would think. Okay. But I see where you're going with it.
All right. I wanted to check the temperature on that.
But this is like it every year, though, right? Sea of Thieves is always there. Fallout 76 is always there. Like they always have their live service stuff that they always put out. So I don't really think it's any different than any other year. So
yeah. Okay. Thank you for balancing me out, gents. All right. Let's get into a real hot button topic here. Playground games, as we just talked about, Forza Horizon lighting the world on fire, estimated already 5 million sales, easily one of Xbox's biggest hits of the generation, doing exactly what we expected it to do, but they're not done this year. Apparently Fable's on the way. So, gentlemen, what is the feeling around Fable? Yay or nay at the showcase? Open, close the show, release date, yay or nay? When may it be? Rand, I feel like you've had a lot to say about Fable.
Yeah,
This whole show. So
I mentioned it earlier. I think it's opening the show, or at least I wanted to open the show. Because honestly, the flip would be it's not there, which would be, I think, very bad for its chances of releasing this year.
If it ain't there,
it doesn't show up.
We do a recap. We like, yo, where was Fable?
Wait, Fable's supposed to come out and ain't there. What's going on?
I agree.
Unless you get one of those announcements before the showcase, there's like, we've decided to delay Fable to 2027 type thing.
I mean, yeah, because my Clockwork odds would be very, very high at that point. But I want both to come out this year, frankly. I'm selfish. I'm like, dude, just give me great RPGs right now. Like, I'm looking at Blood of Dawnwalker. I'm looking at Fable. Throw Clockwork in the mix, dude. I'm going to be fucking feasting. So I'm good with it, whatever way it goes. But yeah, if they do like a whole, like, remember when they did that with Redfall and Starfield, like right before the summer showcase, they were like, yeah, these two things that, at the time, I know Redfall, we didn't know any better, but it's like, these things you're so excited about. We're like delaying them out of the year.
Yes.
Out of the year, like not even. Oh, man, what a demoralizing blow. 2022.
I remember that was a kick in the balls.
Yeah, 2022 was a tough year. We only got grounded.
Facts.
Intimate. Great games, but like, dude,
bro,
that's not what you want from a system that was doing exclusives at the time.
Facts. We had therapy calls. We were like, could you believe we were ranking like how much of a rake was
in Xbox history.
Yeah, we were doing Xbox Pantheon rakes, and we were like, Starfield and Redfield delayed it. Yeah, and they have no first party huge games that year. Like, yeah, that was crazy. I remember.
Yeah. So with Playground, we're all in agreement. This is going to be there, though.
Yeah, they have to be.
Yeah,
absolutely have to be.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
But no racing, Maddie. So you're safe. No cars.
Turn 10 could show up and really do something special and be like, hey, we're half the manpower, but we got a new racing game for you. Yeah, costume pulling out of the drive.
You will see a racing game at Sony show, though. So.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, well, that Maverick, the people, the X Playground games, they're like, their timer runs down the day of the state of play.
My boy, Mike Brown.
That's a really smart place to announce that, dude. I mean, the racing bros are like, I always say that, bro, I saw my first lick of real Gran Turismo gameplay last year. When I mean that, I mean like playing it, messing around with it, like watching friends talk about it. It's such a sexual game, dude. It's just like the way they romanticize their cars.
Bro.
The PlayStation audience wants to put it right in the fucking fuel tank, dude. Like, I'm telling you right now, that is a great spot to reveal that game. That is smart. They know that audience. They're like, dude, get a soft-spoken woman to talk over the history of that car. It's a wrap.
It's car porn. They go crazy. Absolutely.
Yeah, so interesting. So you see, that could be also interesting for Xbox's stage, but that if the countdown ends there, then that's not.
Yeah.
So okay.
I agree.
There's a little balance in the universe. I'm going to be watching State of Play. I'll be seeing some racing there. Mm-hmm. I'll join you guys in the choir here. Fable will be here at the summer showcase.
Mm-hmm.
I think, okay, since I'm a little bit, I fight with myself so much on this game, but I think no matter what, it needs a date. I think it needs to commit to a date. I think it's been a high time for a while, especially if you're like me and a lot of other people out there where you've been tracking this game since it was a mere rumor. I think I remember seeing the first article was by Eurogamer in like 2017 or 18, like rumor Playground Games is working on. Yeah, they're working on Fable. Bro. It's like, we've come so far from that point.
Mm-hmm.
I know Xbox is stoked about this game. You got to put a date on it. It cannot continue to be this elusive thing. It needs to be real. So I hope they do that. I'm kind of buying into what Rand was saying about show opener, though. I know I had a different show opener pick in InXile with Clockwork and giving that a date, but I do like Rand's idea of just like kick the doors down. Like, this is a big question. Answer that right away. Leave the viewer with that sense of like, what's next after this? So I do like the pick here. Now the question, boys, let's have some fun with this 2026 date here. Go around the horn. Rand, pick a month. When's it coming out in 2026?
October.
Okay.
That's my pick, October.
You got October for Fable?
What about you? What month are we picking?
Now, we've already confirmed, I mean, not confirmed, but we've already, because Maddie, you alluded to the marketing with that Gears thing was September, right?
Yeah.
Oh, man, Fable's so tough, bro.
I imagine COD is October.
That's
Halo is July.
But there's a part of me that they may look at Fable not really competing with COD in the sense it's a completely different audience and be comfortable with that in the same month, which then would lead me back to October. I don't feel you could put Fable next to Gears. I just don't think they should be coexist in the same month. So that rules in my mind them out of September. No way you're coming. Yeah, I think I have to say if it's coming out, it's got to probably be October. It's got to be because you can't have it in November. And then I agree with the blast radius of GTA 6. So yeah, I'm going October for right now. That's what I'm leaning.
Do we hate early November? Do we think it's just too close to the sun?
I think the only game that could do early November is COD. And COD's the only one that's like big enough where it could do that. But COD typically alternates sort of like mid-November, early November, or like late October. And last year, Black Ops 7 was mid-November. It was like November 14th or whatever it was.
Right.
So I think this year's COD, Modern Warfare 4, will be like the last week of October. And so like in my mind, Fable is second week of October. So there's like a buffer. Because in my mind, Gears is like early September. Halo's like early August. So like there's still a month from Gears to Fable, and then there's still some distance between Fable and Modern Warfare. So
okay.
If I was Booty and I was managing releases, that's where but hey, last year they released Keeper, Ninja Gaiden 4, and Outer Worlds 2 in a week and a half. So
yeah, Greg Duncan did talk about that, saying we want to give them more oxygen. So I think we're all in the right mindset that they want to spread these out.
Right.
But they lose an entire month when they're finally doing that. Do we hate Fable in December again? I'm gonna bring up December again. I gotta push all these buttons as I interrogate my
but they did say autumn. December's not autumn.
True.
Good call out, Red. Good call out. Autumn. Yep, you're right.
Is autumn August? Could this be earlier than we ever dreamt?
Well, the Jeff Grubb reporting was that it was internally delayed, but not delayed to 2027 yet. So I wonder if it was like supposed to be September and they had to move it a little bit. We'll see, but I don't know,
man. The more we talk about this Fargo, it's your time, man. Like
we're seeing the switch. He's gonna
let this game out, boy.
I don't know. The more we talk about it, I'm kind of loving my clockwork theory here, man. Let the man who's been delivering continue to cook and let Fable do whatever it's been doing for the last 10 years and just take up 2027. You know, it's looking like it's in the cards.
But Batty, don't you want to be the shining star to have 2027 to yourself? The showcase game, Clockwork Revolution, the best IP, one of the studio that needs to get the light to everyone to remind them who they are.
I agree completely. I think reviews will help that game a lot. I think hands-on impressions will. Like I think that game will grow over time, just like Wasteland 3 grew over time. Like I think Clockwork will do the same. I think Clockwork will be big, but I just think it needs the right buttons pushed. And I think once like word of mouth does its thing, I mean, this game's gonna be amazing. I don't do that about anything before it comes out. Like I'm just like, oh, it's going to be amazing. I'm like, no, like the Clockwork will be, but I cannot wait for that. But
I know I'm excited. I'm with you. You know, I'm with you.
Able, I mean, it's just a matter of like, look, man, they had their month, but a certain game has occupied that space. You cannot release near it, apparently. You cannot release after it, apparently. You can only release in the next year. I don't know, man. There's compelling arguments for both sides. It's if you put a gun to my head, I'm going to think logically and say that they will still come out late this year because I don't know why you would double, triple, quadruple down on the whole. We're coming out this year. But I also, again, if we're talking like what Rand mentioned, internal delays, marketing doesn't know about that. They're given their assignment. They're like, yeah, 26. That's all you need to know because y'all talk. You'll leak it. So they wouldn't know.
We'll see.
Oh, fuck it. 27.
27. All right.
Let's go for it.
Let's go. Let's see what you're doing.
Okay. Rare. They're up next here, man. Sea of Thieves and formerly Everwild. Cog, since you had quite the expression at the mere mentioning of their name, I'd love to start with you. See how you're feeling about Rare making an appearance here.
I'm so frustrated. I'm frustrated now. I'm in that part now. It's just like, unless you give me a Sea of Thieves 2, as Maddie said, I don't want to see you roll that joint out again. Ben, I apologize. Shout out to the man, Ben. I know he loves it. Sea of Thieves gang, I get it. I just feel, don't we feel we're this long in the life cycle of the game where it's time for a sequel? What's the player counts now? At some point, isn't it kind of cool? Am I bugging? Am I bugging, Rand? Am I bugging? Like,
I mean, typically though, for these things, they don't get sequels. It's just because they need to keep their player base. But I mean, I'm worried about Rare, to be honest with you. They canceled Everwild, and it's like, okay, do you have another project in development? It's kind of, I was also sort of worried about ZeniMax Online.
Right.
We all thought Project Blackbeard was going to be their next game while also doing ESO, but it's like, okay, well, both. And I'm like, can you sustain on just Sea of Thieves and ESO for forever? Considering how long it takes to make games anymore, these days, it's like, I don't know what Rare's doing next. I mean, maybe they could do a Sea of Thieves 2, and
to me, bro, if it's not Sea of Thieves 2 or a new IP, I don't want to hear what y'all talking about. like I will be. I'm trying to be respectful. Bro.
I mean, the thing is, like, one thing you can always count on is Sea of Thieves. I think Sea of Thieves has been at every Xbox showcase since it came out, so you can count on it.
It was there last year. What they show last year? I don't even remember.
They always show something.
Did we do Pirates of the Caribbean? What's left to be done?
I mean, season stuff. I'm just saying, like, it's just, you can set your watch to it, but I guess there's always a chance it might not show. I don't know what they're doing. Yeah. Apparently they didn't know what they're doing with Everwild either.
Exactly.
So now I'm sort of like, well, did they have a third game that they were working on that's now the main focus?
That's what I'm hoping for, bro. That's all I'm hoping. Let's get some, and plus there's people who love this studio for their tremendous history. Let's get them
not leveraging it enough.
Yeah, let's get them out the salt mines. Why are they still in the salt mines doing the Sea of Thieves? And I'm not, trust me, Sea of Thieves is a good game. I'm not hating on the game. It's just that at this stage of the development, like, there's no other projects being pitched. There's nothing else. Yeah, like, show me something else. Otherwise, that's my, as Maddie would say, that's my pee break. I'm like, come on, bro. I'm out, bro. I'll be back.
I love when someone else does that.
I'm gonna get mad tomatoes thrown at me to come. Listen, that's just where I'm at with that. Rare it's so much more to me.
The bullet point. I get it. Like, yeah, Sea of Thieves is great, and it does have a player count, and I think it can command its own slot, and that's fine. But like, Rare needs to do something else. Like, you can't have all that IP, all that legacy, and be relegated to your fucking pirate live service game from 2017. Like, it's just not, bro. It's, or 18 maybe. I might be mixing up my years.
I think it's 18,
yeah. Like, we can't keep doing this, dude. Like, there's gotta be more. And I don't think it'll be this year, but they gotta have something soon, because I can't imagine just like continues to be like, they are not a live service team. At least they didn't start that way. Yeah. I'm not saying they got to bust out Banjo, although again, they got to renew the spirit somehow. Like, like, it's time to, you gotta break out something from your legacy IP. Like, Everwild not working out, it's, maybe a sign that you should just go back to basics is my only hope with all of that. That, the Everwild team didn't seem very big though.
Right.
At least when they started to get back to work on that, like, I remember one of I think it was producers or something, shared like an image, and like, it was just like the coat rack, if I remember correctly. And there was only like 6 coats, and it was just like, we're all in the office today working on the game. And I'm like, it's a very small team. Like, how many people are actually working on this? That answer is not really out there, but presumably they could break off a team and maybe start working on something. So I hope they are and do that, because that'd be fantastic. But I think for this showcase, you just get Sea of Thieves. I think it's it, as you always have. But the collabs is a good question, because Cog brought that up. I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah,
I really don't know. Like, what video games have, like, do they team up with Dave the Diver? Like, I'm trying to think of games with water.
I know, what's the crossover?
Do they team up with Assassin's Creed Black Flag?
They could, and I know this has kind of been rumored forever, but I don't know if it ever come to fruition. But people have been asking for a Sea of Thieves One Piece crossover.
Interesting.
Oh, that'd be great. Yeah. That would be awesome. That's a good call out. I think that would get people talking.
That's interesting.
That'd be sick.
I could dig it.
Yeah. All right, here's a quick one. But we're due diligence here. Turn 10, half the size they were since they launched Forza Motorsport in 2023. Let's go around the horn. Rand, do you see this team show up with a racing game?
No.
Okay. I'm sure you know what that was.
There's no need for elaboration or whatever.
Yeah.
They're working on Forza Horizon.
Exactly.
So.
They showed up this year already. It was at the title screen of Forza Horizon 6 in very quick fashion. That was how they showed up this year.
Yep. There you go. They did their part.
Yes.
Okay. Well, keep it moving then. Undead Labs, Cog rubbing his hands already. Earlier this year, we did finally get the silence broken on State of Decay 3. It's reached its alpha. You know, definitely seemed a little bit discouraging to some with like how long it's been and like, okay, it's hitting alpha now, but word on the street is this is fucking great. So, Cog, I'd love to hear from you. This is a toughie, I think. I think it's a coin toss. It could go either way. But they didn't show much gameplay in their new re-reveal, just 3 screenshots. And they had the community doing a lot of the making of the noise, you know, interviews with their creators and whatnot. So, Cog, do we see State of Decay 3 here at this summer showcase?
Yeah, I'm going for it. This is it. This is the big one. This is where Undead Labs, the step out moment. And I got to give credit for renewing my confidence is the homie Sunny Games, because he's the one he interviewed new studio head at Undead Labs. Yeah. I've been following it religiously, and the word on the street is that everyone that's been playing is like, yo, like the hardcore stuff. I forgot what they call it, like this ambassador group or whatever they call them, whatever. But that have been playing this game, and those who have gotten this alpha have been raving. They are saying that they are taking a lot of the sensibilities. They're so excited to play. I think this is the step out moment. They show it Unreal Engine 5. They show, you know, a lot of gameplay, and you know, I see this as the 2027 set off with them and Clockwork. And I think Undead's ready, man. I think they've slowly been getting my confidence up that they've got something special cooking. Okay. And I think they're ready to show out, man. So I've come full circle from hating, questioning, what the hell is going on, anger. Like, I used to get mad at people, no one's calling them out. Remember, I used to be like, yo, what are they doing? Like, why is no one saying anything? But this is the year that I'm like, nah, I like the direction, and I forgot the studio direct. I love everything he's been saying and his approach and how they've been going. And yes, this is it. This is it. So they will be there, and then we'll see if we get a follow up next year as well with a developer direct and the actual release date. So
they could just show up at the dev direct and not be at the showcase.
I mean, they could.
I mean,
but I'm going for it.
I know. We're going to break Cog's heart here. So
going for it, bro.
They weren't at last year's, right?
Nope.
No. And but they were the years previous.
The years before, yeah.
But we didn't really see a lot of gameplay. In
engine.
I think it's, I mean, they're doing that, the alpha testing and stuff. I think it'll be there. You know, but if there is a pick of a game that we would think is here that is instead at the dev direct, it's this game for me.
Yeah, it could be. It could definitely be there as well, too. What you think, man?
I'm going to go with no.
Oh, save it for the dev direct.
Are we saving it for the dev direct?
I read my mind. Yep. 2027. Ooh. I think this game's a bit further out, and I think showing it now would be a mistake. I think it was good the way they broke the silence because I think they're kind of collecting play testers, and there'll be a shit ton of leaks for this game, no doubt. But like, you know, I mean, maybe that said, when I put that out loud, Jesus, something just flew in my eye. Holy crap. Maybe they, it's these zombies, man.
Zombies,
holy shit. That like hurt. What was I saying? Oh yeah. Undead Labs. I think they could show something because if they're going to do play testing, you may as well just put what's being put in players' hands out there. So in case there's any leaks, it's like nothing substantial. Let people come to their own judgment through the trailer that you prepared. That said, I feel like this is, as Cog said, like a developer direct top of 2027 title. And then I think it's deeper in the year, like August or something. I think it's further off. If it's
So
just
then you
entering
got them,
alpha, I
like-
think it's got more time.
So then you got them like Dev Direct and then showcasing that stuff next year, since you got a late 2027. You going like
Yeah.
2027? Okay.
Yeah, I'm going late 2027. So I feel like they skipped this show because they kind of pulled the lid off. Why do all of that if you're going to show off at the summer showcase again? I don't know. Maybe doesn't matter. Maybe they're just finally starting to communicate. I mean, to be fair, you guys might be more correct than me, because they did say on their blog post, they were like, this is the start of us getting ready to communicate better about this game. So it seems like they're ready to start showing more. So with that in mind, it's possible it's there, but I'm going to lean no.
Okay.
Just because I think this is a big developer direct title. And I think maybe they want to save the showing all the systems for that, right? Like showing, it looks like they're doing full co-op, showing like the base building. They talked about like these relentless zombies. Like it seems like it's a very systems deep game. And I think that needs time to breathe and like really show it off. So I hope that is at developer direct at the very least. It could definitely be at the show here, but I'm going to go with a no. Okay. Here's an important Xbox studio that not a lot of people talk about. World's Edge, developers of like the Age of franchise. So their last game was a remaster. It was Age of Mythology Retold. That was 2024. Before that, we got Age of Empires 4 in 2021, and there's been a lot of DLC support for it. So with all of that in mind, is it time for World's Edge to step out onto the big stage, Rand?
I always forget about them.
I know.
The Age series is pretty profitable for them. It does quite well.
Yeah.
And I always think no, but then they always do end up at the showcase in some way with like an expansion or something.
Expansion, remaster, something.
Yeah, I'm just not well versed on like what they have in the franchise or whatever, or what they're doing. So I'm gonna say this is the year they're actually not there.
Ooh,
Okay.
Yeah, I'll jump in.
How about you?
It's tough because, like I said, I don't have any vested interest, but they're one of those ones that, like you said, they're money makers, RTS. They do well globally. I'll go. There'll be some form of them. It'll be a quick, breeze through, but they'll appease their audience in some way. So I'll go yeah for that.
Okay. For me, I'm going to go with a yes as well. I think whether it be DLC or something new, I think it's been enough time since their last main game, which I know takes them a decent amount of time, but they did just do a remaster. They could keep remastering stuff, but also I think it could be just like Age 5, might be that time. But I think they'll be here in some capacity. It just seems like it lines up with the cadence I was kind of looking at. And so I think they make a lot of sense for showing up at this year's summer showcase. You could add them to the DLC list potentially. So that would be eight titles with DLC. So the DLC sizzle reel is going to go hard.
You said the
DLC sizzle reel.
He wilded right now.
Okay. Now we're going to transition into a little bit more broad stuff. There's third party and there's Xbox Game Studios publishing. And there's a difference between these. These are titles like I have on my list here, OD. It seems like sometimes Xbox Game Studios publishing is also like marketing stuff. Like they seem to be kind of close with Beast of Reincarnation. That was a developer direct title. Or obviously famously Contraband, which ended up being canceled. So with all this in mind, I want to know if you guys have any, because this is the broad one where it's really tough for me to research for, because there's so many games that can be like wrapped up into this. And there's obviously upcoming ones like Xbox Game Studios publishing facilitated Ninja Gaiden 4, which was like huge, right? So it could be anything in this case, but not exactly third party where it's like Xbox doesn't own that or involved with that. They're just kind of paying to get them into the show. So I want to start with you, Rand. Anyone from Xbox Game Studios that you think will show up here?
I think Spyro 4 has a good chance of showing up. I know I've sort of mentioned that before. I think they're publishing that game. So I'd pick that one. There's another one that there's always been rumored, but I don't even know if it exists, but screw it. I want to see it. That's the Arkham guys game.
Oh, what was it? 5? Was it 100 star?
Yeah,
5
like
star?
they're supposedly working with Xbox on something. Is it time? It's been a couple years, so
yeah.
But maybe they're not even working on them anymore, because we all thought for a while that Xbox was working with IOI, and that was I've seen some interviews recently that they basically said they didn't mention who their publisher was, but they mentioned like they're not with them anymore. So like that's not happening.
Right.
So yeah, it's tough because like you have a game like Ninja Gaiden 4, which was out of nowhere. It's just like, oh, by the way, Ninja Gaiden 4 is dev direct and we're publishing it. And it's like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
So as far as like global publishing, I don't even really know who Xbox has signed.
I know.
Or they're working with outside of like the rumors and even if they're doing anything with them anymore. So I'll just say those two.
Okay. Those are really good picks. I really like your 100 stars one because I forgot there was like a rumor that Xbox was like affiliated, maybe financing that. And that's a team I'm really curious what they'd be working on because they certainly have the pedigree to go secure like, oh, hey, we've led the Arkham trilogy. Like that's pretty huge where they could go get an IP. And if Xbox is funding that could be like that could be a showcase ender. If it's like the right IP, that could be huge. So I'd be very keen to see what that game is. I like that pick a lot, Rand. Cog, what about you for Xbox Game Studios publishing?
It's funny because this is my pick that I forgot to tell you guys to end the show as far as, but I don't have a specific title because it's so broad. And I'm thinking like Ninja Gaiden, like how Ninja Gaiden 4 happened, right? And it was just like, okay, they got behind something and funded to bring it to life. And that is a big IP. There's a part of me that says still with the Phil and Sarah regime, they may have greenlit something that's still along the words contractually that may come that's big. So I just don't know what the title is, you know, say as far as what it could be, but I'm going to end it with like, it'll be a publishing game that'll end the show that they're very excited about. That's new, that's exciting, that's a couple years away and stuff like that, you know, and, that's where I'm going with it. Unfortunately, I just don't have because it's so broad. Like no tidbits, no tea leaves, or which IP it could be. But I think that's what I'm rolling with right now.
Okay,
and then Gears as the subsequent ender with the direct, so to speak.
Yeah. I will say I really like what Spyro. I think it feels like it's time for that. I like Rand's 100-star prediction. It'd be interesting to see Project Fantasy, but it looks like that might be a broken relationship. That project is still in development though. Beast of Reincarnation is coming out in August, but it got the developer direct. It was in the showcase for PlayStation as well. It looked really good in that PlayStation showcase. And so I could see Beast of Reincarnation showing up here, maybe as part of a marketing deal. Plague Tale, the prequel style Plague Tale game.
Right. Mm-hmm.
I think that would be really good.
Coming in August.
Yeah, that should be.
And that's
that'll be
excellent. Game, I think too, right?
Yes. Yeah. So put that in there. But I'm wondering about OD.
I was just about to. You read my. I was about to ask y'all.
Yeah.
How do we feel about OD? I was about to ask y'all that.
Yeah,
there was an actor strike that delayed the filming for the game, and it looks like it's mostly based around that. So if like you can't film for it, then that may have pushed things back for it to like 27. But it was rumored to be 26, 27. So I'm very keen to see if that does show up here. I think I'm going to go with it does show up here with a date.
With like an actual release date or like a year?
Sorry, I should say a window. Okay. A window. Thank you for asking. Yeah. I think it's just too uncertain to say an exact date, but I think this is finally coming along, and it'll no doubt be like Kojima's most divisive game. 100%. Like
controversy
because it's not going to be much of a game. That's my prediction. I mean, he's been very clear about that.
All experience.
Yeah. And like, we just saw what happened in games like Mixtape and whatnot, where just experiential driven things are just fighting uphill battles where, especially if they review well, it's like, well, it's not really much of a game. And like that debate is definitely going to rise up here. And I mean, to be fair, Kojima has been very vocal about it. He's been saying like, this is going to be my most divisive game. And I really respect that. Like the guy's out there making something. He's like, you might hate it. Like he just like, I don't think you make things to appeal to everyone, but you think there's at least a chance that people will mostly think it's cool. But OD just making it and be like, yeah, I think it's gonna be like really divisive. Like I want to make my game like that. That's kind of crazy. I like that stuff. But I think OD will show up. That's my prediction on top of everything else we kind of ran through here.
I mean, I like your prediction. They did show a trailer last year at one of the Keeleys, didn't they?
Yeah. Or no, it was Kojima's own showcase. He had like his own presentation.
Oh, it was his own sort of thing. Yeah. I'm gonna say next year.
Okay.
Like it shows up next year, or you're saying it?
I'm gonna say it shows up next year and actually releases next year.
Ooh.
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
I could see that. I could definitely see that. Otherwise, any other Xbox Game Studios related predictions, dream matchups? Xbox pulls this team and that team together, something like a Ninja Gaiden.
Oof.
Old IP gets revived.
The hopes and the dreams segment.
And there was a rumor a long time ago about, I'm sure, Cog, you heard this one, but like Playground working on a Crimson Skies remake or whatever. I mean,
here's one. Scalebound revival.
Ooh, we can't cover you outside.
Yeah, I mean, we hear. There was a period of time where Platinum was like begging Xbox.
Yes.
I mean, granted, they did work on Ninja Gaiden, but like Scalebound just seems to still float around in the conversation in a really strange way that no other canceled game does. Like, where could that ever make a return? That would certainly be interesting. I'm trying to think of anything else here. I'm looking at like my stack of games and just thinking to myself, like, what could Xbox do to pull like two teams together? Because I really like what they did with Ninja Gaiden 4. I'm like, that's such like a cool moment where they just said like, you're the brains, you're the ops. Like, let's go together and make this game.
I got one.
Okay. All
right, but this is hopes and dreams, and I may be too early with this.
Okay.
I think that they understand the hurt, they understand the pain that they have caused.
Oh no.
And then we see that guitar come out on the screen. We see Chai come out. And that Hi-Fi Rush 2 announced. Just want to make it right. Craft on Xbox. Making it right, baby. And you just show, hey, he's working on. We know how you felt about Tango.
I like
but
that.
Chai lives on.
Nah, if I'm them, I'm scoring an Xbox. I'm taking that right to the PlayStation or Nintendo showcase.
Listen,
you shut us down?
No, Xbox gave them a home. People forget.
Sure.
After all the pain and the slander,
them.
they gave them a place to stay because they had nowhere to go. They facilitated that deal. That's what I was told. They took the eggs on the face.
They did. It's probably some in their contract too, where like, hey, your next game has to be on Xbox.
Right, first right of refusal. We're gonna make it right. We're gonna show y'all.
How many years has it been since Hi-Fi Rush 2 now?
I think it's only been about
2023. It was top of 2023. Shadow drop.
I think it's 3 years.
3 years.
That would be a very. I'm kind of smiling at. I would really like a Hi-Fi Rush 2.
Hi-Fi Rush 2.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Let's go.
That would be.
I've been listening to the soundtrack. It hit me. I was like, it came on my playlist of the gym I was doing cardio.
When you said Chai, I'm like, who are you talking about? Chai who? And
I say Guitar. I thought you were going to say Guitar Hero comes back. I'm like, when did Cog want Guitar Hero to come back this bad?
He says this way he Guitar Hero dude like that.
You love Guitar Hero like that, bro.
Nah, son, I need that Hi-Fi Rush 2, man. Oh, bro, I like
that one. That's
fun. So good. And then, like I said, Johannes and them, they were like, hey, it's alive. Again, I may be a year early, but I just want it so bad. Just to see what they've been working on. And because they're Craft On now as opposed to Tango.
Yeah. And Craft On's like such a mess.
So that's my third party / global. That's my whole.
What about,
I like that.
What about this one for you? This might be up Maddie's alley. Like,
talk to me.
I saw the Persona 4 revival thing.
Oh, yes.
Not even Persona 4 revival. What about Persona 6?
Is it time, Maddie?
Oh God, bro. Don't even. I was talking about this and I was saying like, I'm not really, it's such a weird game because I'm expecting Persona 6 to be a very radical departure. I just feel they've taken too long for this to just be, hey, we're doing like, here's this location. It's turn-based combat. Here's this new crew. They're teenagers again. Like 5 unlocks something where they're taking they've taken a long time on each new mainline Persona game, no doubt about it. But Persona 6, this started with Atlas promising us that like the gap between 5 and 6 would not be as big as 4 and 5, and then it's larger. So, but this game also, you got to remember, the A team already went. Metaphor came out.
Correct, yeah.
And I feel like that team moving on to Metaphor could also be a little spooky for Persona. So I have this mixed feeling with 6 before it gets shown off where I'm like, I don't know. This was one of my candidates for a show closer, though, I will say. I think a Persona 6 closing the show would be fucking massive.
Bro, man, tears right there for Maddie right there.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, dude. I mean, 5 is what changed. 4, 5, 3, they all changed my life each time. So I know 6 will be that as well, which is a very powerful thing. Xbox is tight with Sega. They seem to always lock in Sega being there. I think Persona 4 Revival will be there. The thing that, see, this is what I'm talking about. You guys are experiencing the internal conundrum. It's like, my answer would be 6. But with these remakes, I don't think you, and her Metaphor just coming out, Metaphor probably doing a definitive edition.
Yeah.
Can you really afford to just be like, all right, and 7, which is the one that people care about above all of those? Like 4 is one of my favorite games of all time. No doubt about it. But I think more people care about Persona 6. If it's traditional Persona, that's the thing why I'm thinking you could do these two side by side if 6 is like more of an action game. They've talked about that, like going away from turn-based, and they kind of flirted with that a bit with Persona 5 Strikers. Games like Metaphor, the Trails series have kind of flirted with, or of course Final Fantasy VII famously flirt with that mixture of action and turn-based. I don't know, dude. It really is the thing. It's been certainly long enough where this should show up at one of these showcases, but I'm also like 6 is kind of big time. Like probably the Keeleys, really. Maybe not the Xbox stage.
Okay.
Typically, haven't they always been at the PlayStation shows because they were PlayStation exclusives, right?
Yeah, but not anymore, right?
Not
They're going
anymore,
broad.
so-
Sega relationship.
And Atlas just shut down their live service push, so I'm sure they want 6 to be even more massive compared to 5.
I got one.
I
got one.
Oh,
Because we were on Sega.
Yeah, let's go.
Sequel to one of my favorite games from the Xbox One generation that I thought we'd never get.
Well, who you talking? What you talking?
Alien Isolation 2.
oh yeah, I'm sure that'll. They just did something with a video.
They did.
For
That's
that.
why I'm thinking.
Yeah,
You know, that's why I'm thinking. Like, hey, man, they're getting ready to talk about it.
I mean, yeah, that's strong. That's strong because Sega's outside, and then with which was a Stranger Than Heaven. They've been.
That's what I was going to ask you
relationship
guys.
with Xbox has been.
That's what I was going to ask you guys.
Yeah,
so Xbox has done 2 Xbox Presents. One for Metro 2039, 20,
yeah,
20, and one for Life. What's the name of the game you were talking about?
Stranger Than Heaven. That's my.
Do we see?
By the way, that theme for Stranger Than Heaven?
Huh?
You know that music, like the theme for that? Oh my god!
Tell me that don't go hard.
That is like some of the best music I've ever heard in my life.
Heard for a game. I'm like, yo, they got Snoop this with over. Let's go.
Yeah, the game's gonna be awesome.
My question is, will we see both of those games in the showcase as like an actual, like more like shorter game trailer, right? Because they're supposed to both be this year. They partnered with Xbox. Does that mean you get a shot at the showcase as well?
I guess the only thing I'm not pushing back is just that we just got they really showed out with Stranger Than Heaven with a spotlight.
Yeah.
Like they really showed out. Like that,
their best performing third party showcase like ever. Too.
Yeah, like to me, like that could have been on the Xbox, you know, say at least a condensed version of it on the Xbox showcase. And the fact that they gave it to itself, I mean, it doesn't preclude it to say that it can't show up in a clip or a trailer because they do have the marketing rights and it is this year. It's a tough one. I'm torn because you're right. If it's this year, they got to market it, right? So maybe it does show again, but just
I'm telling you, the end of this year is going to be so jam packed because like Metro is supposed to come out and the Stranger Than Heaven game. And like everybody's gonna be trying to avoid Grand Theft Auto. Yep. It's just gonna be like a traffic jam of games.
And then we're forgetting the PlayStation side with Wolverine. We're forgetting the Nintendo side with all the stuff they got going on. It is a literal traffic jam to get out before GTA 6.
Yeah. I'm still stuck on Persona.
I love it. My boy Tom.
My boy
you
Tom.
guys said. I'm just thinking about Persona.
No, because it could be, Maddie. It could be.
Could be the year.
Could be the year.
Fine. If not this year, then it's
right up there with Elder Scrolls 6. Yeah. Yeah, this third party stuff's got a lot of potential though. Just a lot of spins that can show up and surprise.
What about one of the Tomb Raider games?
Come Deliver.
What about like the Tomb Raider remake game?
I forgot about that. Yeah,
That's supposed to be this year, isn't it?
Yeah, that was at the Keeley's last year.
it was at the Keeley's, yeah.
I think that has a good chance of showing up. That they're launching like 2 Tomb Raider games really quickly. I'm sure the remake probably has a good chance of showing up. The question is, do they put that on the big stage like Keeley's, or they do more Xbox focused marketing there?
Or maybe they're with PlayStation.
Because that's Crystal Dynamics, right? And like
Yeah.
the Xbox and Crystal Dynamics had a little bit of this when they were working on Perfect Dark with the initiative. So maybe pre-established relationship bears some fruit here.
Mm-hmm.
That could be something. I'm trying to think of anything else here. Final Fantasy VII Part 3.
Oh, damn it. You stole my. I forgot.
I forgot.
I forgot. I'm the Final Fantasy guy.
Yeah, when you got
my bad. Yes, that's on my list. Sorry. Yeah, you stole it.
No, you're good. The director literally said I beat the game 40 times. I'm like, look, I know sometimes they can be exaggerated because like maybe he's just testing the quest structure and like you could just run through it as long as all the triggers work before you place them. Like I don't know what, but like beating it 40 times, I'm like, this just got to be like close to ready. He said like, get ready for more news than ever this year. I feel they probably blow the lid on that one. Does it come to the Xbox showcase though? Cog, you were emphatic about it, so let's hear.
Hell yes. I'm put my whole chest out again. Oh, let's do it. Let's go back to back years. Let's run it back again. You know what I'm saying? One of the biggest pops was last year. Obviously, it finally coming to Xbox platforms. They have been, Namaguchi-san, he has been popping off on socials about this damn game and how they're excited about it, how many times he's played it. And, we also know that Rebirth is scheduled to launch right around that window, right? So perfect marketing rollout.
It's actually launching the day of the state of play.
Day of the state of play. So here's the thing. I mean, to your point, could be there. I could be there. I could be too. That could also happen to it. Throw off my plan.
Sony could have the marketing still.
You're right. Could throw off my plan. But hey, I take a shot, man. Why not? Yeah, in the world of multi-platform Square, you decide, hey, you show it there, and you already have the Rebirth announcement for all the other multi-platform holders, and then we see what happens. So that's my long shot. I'll go for that one.
Yeah, I think 7 Remake does get the reveal. I'm going to say that's the one more thing at Jeff's summer show.
Okay.
That's my prediction.
Sort of thinking the same thing.
Because the thing is, I think they would do Xbox, but the only thing that stops me in my tracks on that is they are so hellbent on getting this to everyone everywhere. They're counting on the finale to be like probably one of their biggest games ever. Just, get everyone caught up, get everyone like on all platforms. It's on Switch too. It's on Xbox. It's on PlayStation. It's on PC. You cannot miss the third entry, which is multi-plat. And now you market it to the audience that isn't there for a specific thing, but just like games.
That's smart too. I could totally see that.
What about the
Xbox stuff could also make some sense too.
What about at Nintendo Direct then? Supposedly the remake sold very, very well on the Nintendo platforms.
Yeah, it was too big a stage for Nintendo to hear that.
I'm just saying, like, is it unless like Sony has a deal or whatever, where it's just whatever, it's at PlayStation show, and like Maddie said, you could do it Jeff's show.
Yes,
but it's like you have Nintendo as well. They're no slouch.
Yeah, definitely not.
You can
definitely not. It should probably in general show up though. I feel right. Like,
yes.
Yeah,
we need to know what the name is. You obviously Remake, Rebirth, what the is or whatever it is.
What do you think 3 is? I've always thought it was going to be Reunion, right?
I guess.
I think that's what Crisis Core is. Crisis Core Reunion.
Yeah. Maybe
I thought Reunion too until I realized.
Final Fantasy VII Return.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, Return sounds good.
Mm-hmm. Reborn.
We'll get the name.
No, Rebirth is already. Fuck, I'm stupid. Let's run back the same title again, just a little different.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's a lot of good options. I like Return.
Yeah, I like it.
Speaking of Square, one other thing I want to throw out there. It's got to be discussed for the fans out there. Mm-hmm. Kingdom Hearts 4.
Oh, your peoples.
These fans are. I'm so happy that I kind of let go of Karen a while ago. I will always remember that wait up until Kingdom Hearts 3. Agonizing, painful, indescribable. You know, then Square shows up and like they're here like remastering the Kingdom Hearts games, finally giving us in the West the final mix. Big time. You know, here comes 2.8. Here's a prologue set up to Kingdom Hearts 3. It's like, God, can this game just come out? Like, it's almost here. We're getting Kingdom Hearts stuff. They were like, we will not have the wait between Kingdom Hearts 3 and 4 be this long again. Like, or sorry, compared to the wait between 2 and 3 and all the content between, like, we won't make that a long wait. Like with 4. It's been nothing for years for this poor fan base, dude. It's been literally nothing. Like whatever Demons Haunted 3 have seemingly are worse for Kingdom Hearts 4. Does it have a chance of showing up here? And I'm also going to throw in the mix here. We'll tackle 2 at the same time because another game that seems to have some demons, Final Fantasy IX Remake. This is the remake I hate to be that contrarian, but I care most about. I fucking love Final Fantasy IX. That's my favorite. So naturally, in Maddie fashion, this remake, just like KOTOR, is just they just Square has seemingly figured it out, but they just decided to fuck this one up. There's like, we don't know if we're actually going to ship this. Apparently, it's been put on ice. Do either of these 2 games show up at all?
What's the second game you said?
Final Fantasy IX Remake.
It's tough.
I'm going to say no. I'm going to say no.
Yeah.
Kingdom Hearts is big. I just feel like you started to sell me, Maddie, on your Keeley theory, and I feel like that's a Summer Games Fest Live kind of a game. If it was the show. You know, they've been waiting a long time. But with 9, I don't know enough about it. I know it's been on that rumored list as far as stuff that's guaranteed to come out. I just don't know how long on the timeline. And then again, in a year where I'm going to say no, like with Rand, because in a year with, I think they want their attention to really be on Final Fantasy VII and the remake for this year. They got so many titles. So that's what I'm leaning. I'm going to say no on that one, maybe on Kingdom Hearts. And if Kingdom Hearts is going to happen, maybe on the Keeleys.
Yeah.
Quick tangent, Maddie. I gotta. It's interesting. Sure. It happened today. So I was telling you before the hot water heater broke. Need to replace the part. So I'm sitting on the computer. The hot water heater's like down here in the basement in a different room. And the guy's phone rings, and it's I can't say it, but it's like I'm listening to it. I'm like, that's Dearly Beloved. His ringtone was Dearly Beloved.
Take that man out.
By Kingdom Hearts. I'm like, I look over there and I'm like,
he's gonna tell you a new water heater will be delivered in 6 fucking years, dude.
Dearly Beloved. I was like, I'm like, I know this tune.
Hilarious.
You strike up a conversation, or you just pretend you didn't know? I
thought about getting up and going over there and be like, so you're a Kingdom Hearts fan, huh? But
that's hilarious.
I didn't say anything.
That's good. That's good. Yeah, man. I mean, I'm with you guys. I'm kind of leaning to the no for both as much. 9 Remake's the one that tortured me. That's the one that, like, if you thought I was like persistent with predicting Elder Scrolls 6, until Nate the Hate was like, yeah, it's kind of on ice right now. I was like, every showcase, Final Fantasy 9 is going to show up. Every showcase, it's going to show up. It's got to show up. Nothing. So I think I'm giving up on that one until we hear otherwise from the rumor mill. Otherwise, that's all I've got for third party personally. I don't know if you guys have anything else you want to throw out there, but I really like our predictions. Like Spiral 4, I got written down. OD, 100-star games, Hi-Fi Rush 2, Project Fantasy, Beast of Reincarnation, Plague Tale, Persona 4 Revival, Persona 6,
I'm sure
7 Remake Part 3.
Like there's going to be some indie games that we just...
No Ghost at the Grand.
Stuff like that.
They'll have ID at Xbox will have their section, Game Pass will have their section. You know what I mean? The key, I think, to me, what you didn't talk about just before we end out is that, as far as like, what do you think from a Xbox and like an Asha standpoint? What does she bring to the flavor? This will be a first, right? So what do you think, when she'll come out, what will she do? We're so accustomed to the years of, Phil jumping out and Sarah comes out and they'll have that little spiel. How much booty do we get? Do we get the booty?
We get all the booty.
So like give me the feel of the showcase, Maddie. Like what are you thinking? It's a new era, new day.
Yeah, it's a new era. I I would like some words from our Lord and Savior Asha Sharma before we begin our sermon.
Call her the
Asha?
Empress.
Yeah.
Call her the Empress, just to make sure you know.
Oh, the Empress.
The Empress
Yes.
Asha.
Empress Asha must speak before we indulge in our Xbox sermon. That is where I'm at. I would like her to open it. Honestly, you could do a double feature. She's the new face. Open, close.
Okay.
You know?
Okay. Set it off. And okay.
Yeah, like you're saying hello to us and you're saying goodbye to us.
Do you say? Did she say goodbye on the one before the one more thing? Like how like Phil used to do it?
Yeah. Because I think what they need is a sort of unified one voice. I mean, I like the whole idea of like, here's Matt, here's Phil, here's Sarah. But I feel like everyone was kind of getting their licks in. I could see Matt Booty appearing for sure. Probably with Xbox Game Studios related stuff. But I feel like Asha should have for this one specifically, not moving forward, but I feel like she should have a very specifically, when I say heavy presence, I mean like multiple appearances.
Okay. Okay.
I think us, the hardcore, have adjusted to it, but I think we need to kind of continue to beat the drum that if this is going to be a good show, attach her to it. Because again, they're good at optics right now. This is rare for them.
Yes.
They're good at optics. Connect her to a strong show. Even though there's a lot of victories here that Phil could be like, that I did that shit, not her. I did that. Like that doesn't. Most 99% of people are going to be like, yo, Asha's cooking.
Yep.
She's cooking. Like, I love the CEO. So like, put her out there, dude. Like, let her be the lead voice for this. I think that would be smart.
All right,
provided the show is good.
Provided the show is good.
Content, let her close out, and that's it.
So what we think, Red, new day. How much Asha do we get? Does the booty appear? Like,
I think the booty definitely appears. He got a promotion. So I think
true.
He's going to be there. I guess the question is, do they change it and not really have someone intro and just have someone outro? But then I feel like, I don't know. I sort of feel like you have to have Asha at the beginning.
Set the tone.
Yeah. And maybe do Matt at the end, potentially, and you just do Asha and Matt. Or I sort of like Maddie's thing of you have Asha at the beginning, Matt in the middle, Asha at the end.
Okay. I don't mind that. I like where y'all going. I think for me, don't get me wrong. I love what y'all saying when Asha set the tone. But for me, I wouldn't be mad if they just start. Sometimes I like when they just start, just get to the games. Peggy 16 and you see whatever, you see the thing.
They usually do 3 games and then the person
give me
cuts
3,
in.
then Asha. And then have Asha set the tone with something fire right behind that she's announcing. You know what I'm saying? That low confidence.
3 games and then here she is. Yeah.
Here she is. Whatever the spiel is going to be. And then set off a really dope game or project you guys are excited about right after hers. And then I feel my prediction then will be Matt middle. Have Matt come out to really double down on Xbox 25th anniversary. What it means. Get the energy, get the people excited about the history of Xbox. Because I feel he's more, qualified. He's more qualified to do that than her. And then I'm with you, Maddie. Bring her out one last time for the one more thing. You know what I'm saying?
That's why I think the Hail Mary is such an important factor in this showcase, because that one more thing is going to be attached to her.
Yes.
Right. And that means it can't be something small. And that's why I think it might just be like, give her a dream announcement, give her a title card, give her a blur cinematic that is for a game that may be a while out, but like give her something big, because I think that's among many choices they make, like one of the most important things. Like, what is her sort of, it's kind of a planting the flag, even if it's not literally that. And there's many more factors that go into it. I think for, again, what it appears to as a fan, like, I think they have to weigh that heavily this year. She can then, as she's more settled in next year and whatnot, maybe you do things differently. But I think this year it's like, what is the, thank you, goodbye title from her? I think it's got to be big. That's why I was like, Elder Scrolls 6. I was like, give us the update. Like, but if it's something brand new, you want to throw it deep, do Fallout. I'm all Bethesda right now. That's the only things that can qualify in my brain.
I agree. And as a person who's been stalking her social behaviors. I will say I've been noticing uptick of her association with a lot of the, game lineup. Obviously now with the Forza Horizon launch and certain things, obviously the GTA stuff, she's paying more attention to what I consider the significant launches or things that are really big for the platform. So yeah, I agree. I think, associating her with something like that would be really cool and, end that thing off right. But yeah, it's a new era, man.
Absolutely. Any other predictions, gentlemen, or is it time to start rounding this out?
I think I got mine off. Randy, any other
I'm good.
things you heard? Are you good?
I'm good.
Right.
I'm good.
No doubt.
All right. Let's wrap this thing up. Well, first off, Rand, thank you as always for keeping the tradition alive here. This was a close one.
Yes.
We all of us had things going on today because I did a horrible job being a host of the podcast. So very grateful that Rand, you were able to make the show. So thank you again for being here, dude. It's always awesome.
It's always good to be here with both you guys.
Awesome,
my bro.
Absolutely. Cog, awesome to have you back. Glad that we could just sit here, chop it up about some games, get our heads off things for a little bit here. Obviously, thinking of your mom and just hoping that things continue to trend upward for both her and you. But any closing thoughts as we round out our prediction show here?
Yeah, man. Good to be back. Good to be back, man. Talking Xbox predictions. See, I can't believe we're here already, right? It's so a week away. We'll be out there. You know what I'm saying, and get to see what's going on, what they got cooking on. This is always my favorite time of the year. Also, the busiest time for all of us. So it's going to be a bit crazy. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But it's good to be back. It's good to be back and get to talk games, get that distraction of games, and I'm getting excited. You guys got me excited. I needed this. I needed to get excited about games again, and this is my favorite time of the year. So yeah, the wonder begins, the Asha era begins, and 100%. The Dukes are back. Shout out to the homie Rand holding us down.
Absolutely, yeah, dude. We got 3 big showcases coming up, and that's a fun week. So hopefully there's something for everyone out there. As per usual, just a end of the show reminder: we'll skip our next Wednesday episode. So when I go into the Defining Duke server chat, if I see anyone go, "Yo, where's Duke at, bro? Can't believe that." We're telling you, we told you to start. We're telling you at the end. No Duke, exactly. But you get double duty.
Yes.
That Sunday, you'll get a show reacting to whatever happens at the showcase. That'll probably be posted at night, if not very early in the morning on Monday. It kind of depends on where Cog and I's time is at with being out in LA. And then we'll do another show on Wednesday, kind of following up the aftermath. So
absolutely
do look forward to all of that. We appreciate you being here. We're looking forward to seeing your thoughts in the comments, your wish list in the comments. Please fire away down there. But otherwise, Cog, we need a hashtag. Almost signed us out too quick there.
I know. Forgot about the hash.
Yeah. Oh, man. Hash. What we want to put out into the universe? Like DD.
DD. Ram, what we thinking?
Hail
What's
Mary?
the thought process of this showcase? What's the feeling? What's the vibe?
Well, I mean, we could go. Damn, I don't know. I was thinking for whatever reason, DD Bowie Knife 99, but that's probably too long.
No, we're not doing Bowie.
DD Asha or DD Empress?
I feel like we can't. I'm only push back a little, only for the simple fact that it is Asha themed, which you are correct.
Yeah.
The only thing I'll push back is she can't get a DD Empress until she actually closes the deal and we go, yo, that was it.
DD Asha then.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know.
We did do DD Asha when she joined.
Okay, so.
Do we do
like DD?
How about I was thinking about some of like Maddie's thing of like the switch between, Fable and Clockwork, if there was like a DD switch up or something.
Maddie, was about to say
a little rally for me out here. Little old me.
switch it up to DD.
I don't know.
What was you saying too as well, Maddie? You felt like you also had a suggestion before.
I was going with DD Hail Mary because it feels like we're all kind of banking on the big throw at the end to be like something kind of substantial. So that send off is important, and it's kind of the last thing we were talking about.
DD Hail Mary is great. I just watched Project Hail Mary.
How'd you like it?
I love it. I mean, I read the book. It's one of my favorite books.
Oh, so yeah, it's an awesome movie.
I love the movie.
Yeah.
Movie
I like
great.
DD Hail Mary. Let's go for him.
Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Well, if you want to tag us on Twitter, our handles are at G27status, at Lord Cognito, and at RandAllThor19. You can find us on that platform, or you could go into the comments down below. Use the hashtag DDHailMary. Let us know your thoughts on the show, your predictions, all that good stuff. Let us know you got to the end of the episode. Otherwise, we'll be back the following Sunday after the show is concluded to give you our thoughts on everything Xbox had to show and see how much we got right and wrong. So look forward to that. We're certainly pumped, and we'll catch you then. Until then, be well, be safe, and here's to a ton of great game announcements. Otherwise, peace out.
Peace.
Defining Duke, an Xbox podcast, is a product and trademark of Last Stand Media and Collins Last Stand LLC, and is recorded from the United States of America. The show is conceived by Matthew Mr. Matty Plays Schroeder and me, Colin Moriarty, and is written and produced by Matthew Schroeder. Matty's co-host is Barry Lord Cognito Ebersley. Defining Duke's executive producer is Dustin Furman. All of Last Stand's theme music is by Ramon Narvaez. As you know, all of Last Stand Media's shows, including Defining Duke, are fan-funded on Patreon at patreon.com/laststandmedia. The following names are at the producer support level on Patreon, and we're thankful for your kindness and generosity.